Oh my God, we're back with another episode of Mike and Dylan Hate, Drama, and it's a new look, guys. New look, new us.
New day and age here.
New day and age. So, Dylan, what prompted you to do this nice setup for us?
So the cool thing is that when we have the podcast set up, Mike likes to then be like, we need to record some YouTube videos. Let's tear all this down and then record over here and do this other thing. And so we kind of came to an agreement. You should probably put that in a more convenient spot for you to drink. But we came to an agreement that we'd set this up so that you'll see Mike's view, Mike's main angle. That is going to be his YouTube setup. So he'll read Am I the Assholes and things like that there. And then we don't have to tear all this down and tear it apart for him to record a YouTube video.
Right. And it does look, it looks good. People are going to miss the lawn chairs, but I'm sorry. The lawn chairs were not, sustainable?
Well, they just weren't conducive with the new setup.
We're doing this the whole time. Oh, yeah, Dylan. Oh, I hear what you're saying. And I kept fidgeting with the mic too much. So
yeah. We
think that a more face-to-face, I got to look at this mug the whole time I do the podcast.
Oh, face off.
Mm-hmm. So, me and Dylan got a little bit of flack for the alpha male.
No, we got a constructive comment.
We got a constructive comment from the alpha male group. We threw some shade at Tom McDonald, Dax. Dax not really in the alpha male discussion.
Andrew Tate.
So we got some constructive criticism. I am going to read it to you guys. It is. I'm not going to say the name because.
Well, I think we got a new listener because he said he was going to share it far and wide.
Right. So I guess I guess he ain't got any friends because we've not gotten any comments since that. So I guess he did not share it to his interweb of streamers. So I'm gonna read this comment for you guys. Remember, this comes off the back of the Tom McDonald episode.
Alpha male.
The more evidence of why not to take advice from women and beta males when it comes to intersexual dynamics. The women are the ones being pursued, so they don't need to understand what it takes to be pursued. Firstly, let's break this down. What a corny fucking thing to say. They don't know they're being pursued. It really does feel like he has all of his interactions with women stem from what somebody else said on a podcast.
Yeah, or listening to literally Hustler University being like, oh yeah, women, they're the prey, blah, blah, blah. Like,
right.
No, come on, man.
Like he just goes out there and he's, I'm on the lookout for I think he views this as like he's going to stumble upon a good woman or something like that, a high valued lady. But I'm going to keep reading. Weak men don't understand what it takes to be medium or a strong man for that matter, so generally strong masculine men appear to be taking things farther than they are capable of, which is why it gives off the appearance of going too far. No, dog.
Once again.
No, dude. Like, what are you talking about? So this is probably the corniest line out of everything too. They appear to be taking things farther. It gets corny as I keep reading. You're going to understand from the last paragraph why it's so corny. I'm gonna keep going for you guys. Good thing betas exist, though. All the shit women who make bad decisions deserve men who will be forgiven of their past. We actually need channels in weak men like yourself because without you guys, society would fall apart. Whacking the we production necessarily because men worthy of that privilege have standards and the ones who are not worthy. We have little to no standard. We all have little to no standard. So you're actually appreciated. I'll be sure to share this. So what he's saying, he needs beta males like me and Dylan to reproduce with women who are, I guess, what he's calling them
lower tier.
Yeah, lower tiered women.
Well, I think I wasn't sure whether he was saying shit women or slut women, because I think it was probably for women that aren't pure of vaginal intercourse.
Correct. So what he is saying is he needs people like me and Dylan to reproduce because alpha males are so fucking alpha. They can't get bitches pregnant. Like, they can't find a woman. They're out here. Remember, women don't want to be pursued. Or women are pursued. They don't know that they're being pursued by this guy, okay? Because he can't fuck them to get them pregnant. That's what he's saying right here. He needs the beta males like us to fuck women so society will continue, because he's so fucking pure and strong and knows all the right things to say and how to swoon the ladies. He'll never have kids. He will never have kids. So, and I guess what he's trying to do is he's trying to find, like, he wants to find a woman pure of heart. Okay, that's what he's really looking for.
Pure of vagina, but yeah,
right, pure of vagina that can't get no, like, that has not been, what is it,
defiled?
Yeah, defiled by another man's penis. So he's going to be A, looking forever. B, probably, I'm going to assume in his 30s, not in a relationship.
Well, I think the wild thing is when you look at a guy like Andrew Tate, like, everything about it screams like, we're gonna fuck all these bitches. Okay, so, like, I get that they're like, well, it's different for women than it is for men. Okay, whatever, fine, that's fine. But you're gonna go fuck all these bitches, so then now they're out of the pool for all of your other alpha male buddies. So, like, you just fucked up all this, like, but so you're cool with fucking them, but you're not gonna reproduce. Like, I don't get their thought process behind it. They're like super cool and they're gonna pick up all the bitches, but they're only gonna reproduce with the ones that haven't slept with anybody else.
1 second. Oh man, I gotta do swipe. Wait a second, guys. We are so Andrew Tate has he has no children. I thought he actually had children.
His brother does, I think.
His brother does?
I believe so, because he always talks about,
like, Andrew Tate says he self-claims that he has around 10 children. I guess now because I remember seeing him post something. He said, as a father of children that he does not take care of. So alpha male right there. Fucking alpha male quality, dog. Yeah. Leave him off in the wild. The wolf becomes a strong wolf alone. Fuck yeah.
Well, he probably financially supports them, maybe. I don't know. But, like, he's definitely not being a father figure in their life.
It's crazy for guys to get so insulted by that they send us a comment from a guy who had all these bitches in the background. And it's like, yeah, I'm fucking all these hoes. And then, like, a bunch of women are like, yeah, we were, like, held against our will. We were, given the wrong sense of why we were coming over here. Like, the audacity to then be like, this corny ass thing. So then when we get back to the weak men don't understand what it takes to be medium or a strong man for that matter. So generally strong / masculine men appear to be taking things farther than they are capable of, which why it gives off the appearance of going too far. Dog, like, getting, like, obviously he felt some type of way when we said like, a guy will be like, I'm a nice guy and you fucking whore, you slut. Like, that, I was nice to you 7 times and you didn't give me any pussy. Like, that is his rationalization of going that far. Like, that's why we do that. Like, you can't think from the strongness of a man to be like, hey, no, you can't handle rejection. You salty little fat bitch. Like, I already know, goddamn neckbeard right here. You salty fat bitch. Like, you get rejected by a woman and you fucking can't handle that. What kind of masculinity is that? It's not fucking masculine. So then, good thing betas exist, though, because all of the shit women who make bad life decisions deserve men who will be forgiving of their past. What a crazy statement right there, because that is literally saying, like, hey, because, like, I get, I can't find a good woman. I can't find all the women that then reject me are sluts who make terrible decisions because they won't have sex with me. You know what's terrible? Is calling a woman a whore that will not have sex with you.
Yeah, because...
And she won't have sex with you, dog. Like, if you're calling a girl a slut or a whore, that means she fucks everybody. Except you, dog. And that's why you're upset. Like, well, you're just a slut and a whore anyways. You're just you're a goofy, corny guy. Like, you are a goofy, corny guy. And I don't know what it takes for some guy sitting at his fucking computer playing Dota 2 for hours on end, fucking League of Legends for hours on end, watching an Andrew Tate clip, to finally just be like, whoa, the fucking screen turns off, the screen goes black, it's a cutscene, and he sees, like, his fucking appearance in there, and fucking big old neck beard, you know what I'm talking about, real greasy looking pimpled fuck, and then be like, fuck, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's not women.
See, I think the wild thing is if you have to say that you're trustworthy, you're not trustworthy. If you have to say that you're an alpha male, you're not an alpha male, bud. Like, you're just not. Like, you don't have to tell people what you are. They see it. And so, like, I'm sorry, but you in the comment trying to claim that you're an alpha, like, you are exactly who you're saying you're, like, against, because you're trying to claim that. You're trying to tell people that you're that rather than just showing up. Because, like, I'm sorry, but an alpha male would not have made the comment. He'd have been like, ha, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
look at these fucking losers.
Yes.
Like, look at these betas.
That is alpha male energy. That is what you do. You're not having to go after the betas and be all strongman. No, you are a strong man. And like, that's the funniest thing, because it's those people in the comments that believe they are something. And so they have to tell the whole world that, rather than just being confident in themselves and be like, that's shit. That's just a shit take.
Just exuding being a man. And that's the thing. Like, you're not a man if you have to be like, I am a man. It's like in Game of Thrones where little Joffrey, he's like, I am the king. And then his grandpa says, a man who must remind people that he is the king is no king.
Exactly.
That's right. Like, you don't have to sit here and just like defend your masculinity. If I say something and then you take offense to that and you're like, look at these betas fucking, especially this guy. We're honing in on him because he actually commented. For two people on the internet to get under your skin that much, to be like, oh my God, these guys have the wrong thinking about it. And then to comment down on a podcast that you don't have to watch, you don't have to view, you could just be like, fuck, I don't agree with that. Keep moving on.
I think we rage baited him with the title. Like, he's like, oh, what did they say about Andrew Tate? Like,
they better not have went after my Tom McDonald. That man is American.
Well, I really don't think, like, I don't think Dax or Tom McDonald are really the alpha male. Like Andrew Tate, like, was hardcore on it. Like, that was his whole persona, was like, this is how you be a man and this is how you get bitches and all. Like, that was solely his purpose. Whereas Tom McDonald and Dax, they're talking about politics. They're talking about things.
Dax, not so much. Like I said, Dax was just in the corny man space. But Tom McDonald is like, can't wait for shit to happen. Like, he cannot wait for shit to happen in America so he can make a rap song about it. I mean, Charlie Kirk died. 2 days later, the dude has a song about him. People were like, man, you are just such an American. No, he's just making money because you will click on it and then never listen to another rap song in your life and be like, well, I don't like rap, but this one seems to be all right. Like, he's not like the rest of them rapping about the drugs and he's rapping about the Charlie Kirks. Like, he's a cornball. Yeah. And people who listen to him, like, that's just coworker music, man, because you won't hear that shit unless a coworker comes up to you and says, hey, man, you want to listen to some Tom McDonald? That's the only way you hear about it. That's why they call it coworker music.
It's virality. Like, it's just people are going to share the fuck out of it because it's the timely thing. Like, oh, this is the newest thing. Like, it's kind of back in the day with like Lonely Island skit. Like, it's not like, I love I'm on a boat, but like, it's not something that, like, unless I'm on a boat or I'm trying to be funny, I'm not just like rolling down the road listening to I'm on a boat, but it's a viral moment. And so, like, the Pirates of the Caribbean song, it's a fucking great song. I'm not jamming it every Saturday. Like,
right, that one. Listen, I will listen to that going down the road.
When you want to laugh.
Tale of cat. No, I'll listen to it because it's a bop. That one is an actual bop. They got Michael Bolton just went hard, egregiously hard for no. They was like, Michael Bolton, we're gonna make a comedy song. And he's like, all right,
got you.
People are never going to talk about you with this song. They are only going to talk about me.
Well, yeah, but that's all of their things. Like, I mean, when they hooked up with T-Pain, like, the T-Pain is what makes I'm on a boat funny. Like, they're the reason that it's funny. But like, even still, it's a viral moment. It's not so much, yes, it's a great song. I'm not going to deny it. So, however, but it's not like, they don't look back on it like Jimi Hendrix playing the national anthem or something like that. Like, which even that is like viral moments. Like, things become famous because of virality. And a guy like Tom McDonald is just simply, his whole career is based off of, it's not his like bar prowess. It is literally just because, oh, something's in the news, something's going on. This is kind of the feeling that everybody has. Let me jump on board and then make a song about this and then become a viral sensation again and again because he knows the formula.
Good music. It's let me make this about politics. Let me put on a fucking Make America Great Again face mask and then, use that for the thumbnail so I can get these people to click on it because I can't solely, just based off of skill alone.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like what a lot of people are is they don't invest the time to get in the skill. They're like, look, let me just make this. Because any fucking white rapper, bro, if you are about to watch a song or something like that, and the motherfucker's got tattoos on his neck, tattoos on his face, literally his audience would like, if you were stranded alone at night and you knocked on someone's door for help, his audience would shoot you through the fucking door. They would shoot you through the fucking door.
Yeah.
But because they say the things that they like, they're just like, well, I agree. I might not like the way he said fuck so much in that song. Like, it's so corny, man.
I love that you're going to a grandma, like a Southern grandma.
Well, that's who fucking, bro. If your rap song appeals to a Southern grandma, I think you're doing rap for the wrong reason.
Yeah, that's our president. Like, I'm sorry, but like he literally did the viral moment to become president, and that's the thing is like we're no longer making things outside of personality. It's just like, hey, I say the things that the common person believes in, and they don't look through to see that like I'm not actually gonna do any of that shit that I said I was gonna do for them. I'm gonna put in little footnotes that fuck them, and they're just gonna like blindly go for it.
Now, I'm going to tell you this little tidbit because you don't know it, and I know it's going to kind of blow your mind. Do you know that Tom McDonald has a rap song with Ben Shapiro? That's how thick in the political rap sauce that guy is. He has a rap song where Ben Shapiro then raps on it. And then there's people in the comment section going, Ben Shapiro went off. There is no creativity in America anymore. There's no taste. There is, I agree politically with what this guy is saying, so I like this. That is all. That is all. Like, and you just won't look at it. Like, we are a year away from just like movies. Like, there's the one that one guy does where he's like, I'll never do a sex scene because I have a wife, and that's like, gee, no, I could fucking respect that. That dude's in so many fucking movies where it's just like, well, I don't want a gay person to breathe on me because it might turn me gay. And then people are just like, that is just such a good, wholesome movie. And then you watch it, and it's just a boring fuckfest of what quips are they going to say? And that's what that is, man. There's zero creativity. If you're pulling a politician into your fucking rap song,
yeah,
this dude's Canadian. And I get it. Look, we're a melting pot of the fucking world, but he's only doing it because he's like, I can pander to people.
I can make money.
Period. I can pander to people. It is. Look, and I mean, it's a byproduct of, 2000s country now. Like, these guys have zero idea of what it's like.
Pop music in general. Yeah.
Like no. We're talking about country specifically because they pander literally to the working class. They make music for the working class when they have no idea, no earthly idea. If you took them to a machine shop, everybody writes their raps. Like Luke Combs, he's a good guy. Seems like a good guy. He doesn't write a lot of his music. A lot of his that he gets is written by somebody. He's very upfront about it. A lot of people are not.
Yeah.
They'll give the little half-ass. He's very upfront about it. Like, this person wrote this. It's a very beautiful song. I took my words and made it my own. But he doesn't know what it's like to fucking sit there, 3-5 years in a fucking blue collar job and just absolutely grind away. But will he get a song that's a bop for, blue collar workers and fucking make it? Well, I don't know, because I haven't listened I heard Fast Car, the Tracy Chapman
but like
remix.
I think the thing is with that though is, like he was young, he became pretty famous young. So like he doesn't have a ton of like working experience to really talk about that. But like I don't know. I'm just, I
don't think he has a ton of like working class songs either. So.
But the thing that I would say is like, was he raised by like maybe a middle class dad? Maybe.
Oh yeah. He definitely came from that life.
And so maybe you can't talk about it personally, like putting in the long hours, but maybe your dad was doing that and you got to like help him work on the truck and like random things like that.
But I mean, I guess you have to do that though, because like, how does this song, it's like, I'm busting my ass to make my wage. Like,
writing songs for the man day.
Fills me with rage or something like that, and then be like, all right, watching my dad work all day. Like then it's like, oh well, the song doesn't hit as hard now. But they have a lot of those like that where it's just like, I am the average guy. It's like when Jason Aldean made that one song, Try That in a Small Town.
Yeah.
And he's from a very big city in Georgia, and it's like, how do you know about what happens? It's like I heard through the grapevine. I could tell you, brother. I came from
several
small towns. Huh?
It's rage bait. Like that's what they. Once again, it's the virality of like raging people into.
So now then, compare that to the fucking absolute pure talent. And listen, I just said he has people write music for him. But Luke Combs, if you throw in a Luke Combs song to someone that don't even like country, they'll be like, yeah, that's good because he's got a great voice. He's very emotional in his singing and shit like that. That is the literal difference between someone who has talent and then someone who is just like, I have to find ways to get people to watch my thing because no one's going to listen to it. It's going to get stuck in their fucking brain. And then.
Yeah. And I think with like a Jason Aldean, you almost have like a guy that's falling off of his career. He's no longer in the spotlight as like because there's plenty of new people coming up all the time. And so then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, I've got a moment. If I make this like thing that's just going to piss off one side, and then also at the same time, like everybody else be like, rah, yeah, I'm in a small town. Then
I'm after my Cracker Barrel, baby. Like, I'll fucking gun you down.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there fantasizing what would happen. Like, just fantasize what would happen if you could just be like, hey, maybe I should. I see the person who doesn't think the same way I think. What if, like, me and them work together to kind of say, hey, we want to make more money. We want to, you know, be valued. You know, we're trading our time for money that is not sufficient enough to meet the cost of living. But instead, they refuse that to pwn liberals. Liberals use their message to pwn Republicans. And there's not a lot of fucking, you know, the only ones that look like clowns is us.
Yeah.
Like regular fucking people. We look like clowns. We sit here and argue every day while rich people just fucking point and laugh. I was like, look at that guy. He fucking loves that. Try that in a small town. He's sitting there jamming to it. Fucking dork.
Well, and then the other side is over there like, oh, this is racist. This is, you know, homophobic. This is, and so then they get raged on the other side. So then literally and that's the question is like, how much of it is just the music industry that's like, this is going to piss some people off. And then this is going to like get a bunch of people behind us. We're going to sell a bunch of records. Everybody's going to talk about it. This is the perfect song. Here you go, Jason Aldean, record this one. Like I think a lot of I mean, when you look back at what the private prison industry did to rap music and made it more like we need to promote gangster rap instead of like, we need to create that virality of like, oh, look at all these moms that are mad about these gangster rappers, and my kid in the suburbs is now wearing baggy pants and a chain. Like, oh, we need to be doing something about this. It creates that viral moment, and then now gangster rap's like the biggest genre.
Right. And then, so touching on what Democrats do too, because, you know, we've already pissed off one side. Might as well piss off both sides.
All of them.
Fuck them. You're all gay in my view. In my view, like it's just all just a bunch of fucking window lickers in this fucking country. But so it's a video, and they start off by saying, like, listen, generally, I don't like thin lips, talking about white people when they don't have big lips, which is a good way to start it off, as in, like, look, you know, and then they start talking shit about, like, one of the creators or something like that, and then they're just like, but we need, like, more people to agree with this. So you insult the people that are there, like, that's, like, agreeing with you. Mm-hmm. It just sums up just, like, what that side is about, because they're like, you know, we don't want racism, we don't want body shaming, and in one fell swoop, you were racist and body shamed at the same time, but it doesn't exist for white people. The goofiest way of thinking. Look, the goofiest way of thinking, it's like, you know, it would be exactly like if the Jews right after the Holocaust were like, you know what? To be fair, let's Holocaust the Germans. Let's start throwing them in gas chambers, kill a couple million of them, and then, you know, that's the way of thinking. Except for this is 120 years after the fact. So, you know, they have that, and then just the complete outpour of. There are so many things that a liberal would find wrong with America today, you know, alligator Alcatraz, Hispanic people being fucking deported, Hispanic families, hardworking men being taken out of this country while, you know, fucking criminals and shit can happily exist and do whatever, and fucking pedophiles are cool and they're just getting 5 years in prison. All this crazy shit going on. You know what the biggest talking point on the left right now is? Taylor Swift's new album.
Oh, really?
Because Wood apparently talks about Travis Kelce's dick.
Oh, really?
And there's I quote, microaggressions in her album.
Microaggressions?
Where, you know what, you probably shouldn't have said that because black people can't do that. Couldn't do that 60 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't do what? Talk about their dick?
I'm not. There's just a bunch of microaggressions in it. And a good creator I like to watch.
So wait, they're attacking their own billionaire? Like, I thought they were supposed to like pick their billionaire.
Well, now they're starting to realize she's a billionaire because of the microaggressions and it's just like the littlest thing. And I used to think like on the left when they did all the self-diagnosing that I was like, look, you all don't have ADHD. I'm starting to think they all have ADHD. I'm starting to be like, look, I'm starting to believe a little bit of the self-diagnosing because it is just, bro. Hank Green made a video that was talking about knitting and how scientists are so. I've not watched the video. I don't fucking care. I don't like knitting. I don't like science. So I don't, you know, I don't give a fuck. Science. I like to try to survive. That's my day to day. But he makes a video about knitting, and then has to take the video down because they said it painted knitting in a light that did not give the women the credit that they deserve for the knitting. When all it was like, this is why scientists are so fascinated with fucking knitting. And the best thing is, you know what knitters call themselves? Because I guess you can't call yourself knitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess that's real close.
Fabric, or what was
People that knit.
No. It was it's like fabric artist. It's something like that, but it's not that. It's fabric something, and I'm just like, just say I knit. What do you do? I knit.
I'm a knitter. Like, I don't think that's like, I guess if you stumble on your word, then yeah, like it could be
That's
real
like the
bad
girl
real
that tried
quick.
to say Knicks and Lakers. And then, oh my God, they was like, she's been waiting to say that for years. Or she just fucked up.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to fuck up if you're white, though.
No.
And then, but what that does right there, is all that corny little shit, which I can say, hey, that's corny as fuck. It ain't affecting nobody. You know what I'm saying? But then you got this other side that's like, it's okay to be straight.
A little
and white.
racist.
Even though I walked outside, literally me being straight and white didn't affect me at all. It made it I saw corny people say shit on the internet, but that's what gave rise to the fucking Tom McDonalds and the Andrew Tates.
Yeah.
Is that they were so pressed on the goofy shit that the fucking left was saying, which that is goofy. Look, it's goofy to say, hey, look, it's cool. Yeah, racism's wrong. Slavery was wrong. Segregation, all that shit. That was wrong. It was as far back as the 60s. Mm-hmm. It's different now. All right. It's different now. You did not own slaves, Dylan. And I fuck with you for that. But you still need to be apologetic and you learn. Nah, dog, I learned in kindergarten when they were like, slavery was bad. I'm just like, fuck yeah, it is. Segregation is bad. Fuck yeah, it is. It's like, no, you need to read this book on the Black experience. It's like, you're taking a little bit too far now, okay? I have to live. Like, I have to go to work for 12 hours, you know what I'm saying? And then I got to be a dad after that, so I ain't really got time to fit this book in my schedule.
Well, yeah, and to attack the people that are like, yeah, no, I agree. Like, we should try to fix at least some of the system that might still be lingering in there. Like, go ahead and fix that, but we don't have to go, like, completely the other way to fix that.
They went so hard on it that, honestly, I do. Look, MLK, I don't ever want him to get assassinated, but I just wish he was around today to be like, you guys are fucking retarded. Like, just to watch them, everything that they do too. Like, and when you go through, when they're trying to prove a point and they're doing all the rioting and stuff like that, I once told a white person, I was like, the rioting is like the, wrong way to go about it, because it does, for the media, it's a huge surplus of money. For the judicial system, it's a huge surplus of money. So there's really no deterrent. You're not doing anything that's saying, hey, to the rich man that fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You destroy a couple windows. The worst you're hurting is a small business.
Yeah. All day long.
Right. But then you think of, Rosa Parks on the bus, and they're like, all right, we're going to boycott the transportation system, take away their money. They could not boycott a fucking Starbucks, dog. Delicious, like not delicious.
No.
A flavored coffee company. They could not boycott that. So I don't know. Riots haven't worked since the Stonewall riots in the 60s. But she was still like, you're looking at this from the white perspective. Like, what if you were full of anger and stuff like that? I'd do what would work. You know what I'm saying? I would do, if I did something. Insanity is doing something repeatedly and no change happened. What happened from 2013 to 2025? What the fuck did you accomplish? If it doesn't work, change it the fuck up. But they refuse to, because it's their way. And if you try to suggest a better way, oh no, read a book and learn, buddy. And then slowly but surely, well, I'm tired of being attacked by the left. I don't like it. And then you give rise to people that are like, hey, you don't like, people talking shit about you. Believe in all this stuff. And then it's just like, the crazier they fucking stack it, they believe, because it's not the people that were attacking them. This is us. This is our family. This is the good guy. They could stack it up like that. Crazy thing is, that happened too. That happened like fucking 75 years ago, dog. There was a guy saying, you know what? We're all broke here. You know what I'm saying? There's a group of people talking shit about us and shit like that. I believe this is how we could make this shit better. And then, at first, the shit Hitler said was not fucking crazy. He was like, I want the economy to be better. These guys have the worst interest for Germany. And then it started to be like, well, we got to deport all these people out of our country. If we get all these people out, that's what's going to make our country fucking great. Awesome. And then, you start to find out that the places they were deporting them to were fucking camps and shit like that. Crazy ass camps where they were killing them in mass. people are fucking stupid. They can see history repeating right before their eyes. But and it's not even that they just believe so hard in this fucking thing. It's that they hate the other side so much and they want to pawn the other side so much that they just gleefully go along with whatever the fuck their side is doing, because that's their side. That's their, they'll fight and they'll die for that belief that was instilled in them from another person who does not care about them.
Well, and the biggest thing is it goes down to, as soon as you put people in a group, in a box, you say, like, I was listening to a podcast, is the Diary of the CEO, of a CEO, I think, and it was a guy talking about finances, but it's the same thing. He's like, I was in a car earlier, or at some point, I was in a car and I accidentally cut somebody off, and then we both pulled into the same gas station. And like, when I cut him off, he got mad, I got mad, we were both mad because we were cars, we weren't people. And so when I'm speaking as him, when I got out, I went over to him and be like, man, I didn't see you there. I cut you off. That was my bad. And like, he said that the guy was like extremely taken aback and like wasn't expecting that. He thought that he was going to come over and be mad at him. And then they were like, yeah, no, it's no problem. And everything was fine when it was two people. But as soon as you say the illegal immigrants, the Jews, the Germans, the Europeans, whenever you start putting people into categories instead of talking about Mike and Dylan, it becomes way easier to do heinous shit to people, because you're not doing it to Jose, you're doing it to the illegal immigrants. He's no longer Jose, he's the illegal immigrant. And so you can put him in a camp. You can take him and deport him to some other country that's not even his own fucking country. You can do all those things because he is no longer a person that you can look in the eye and say like, hey man, you came in here illegally, blah, 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 blah. No, you're not having that conversation. You're thinking of them as this big group of people, and you're like, yeah, so we send them over to this camp, and yeah, it's not good. We actually are, treating them badly there, but they were wrong. They were criminals. No, they weren't. They jumped an imaginary line and then tried to provide for their family. If some of them are criminals, then yeah, deal with them like criminals. But for a lot of them, their only criminal act was jumping an imaginary line into our country and then providing for their family. So you got to take it back to the human level rather than just being like, people from Mexico only, those illegal immigrants are the ones that are the problem. They're the reason. No, because the gang members, the ones that are smuggling in drugs, doing all that stuff, they cross the border all the time. Like they're not hanging out here.
You don't have any intel that they're here.
No.
At all. They don't know. ICE don't know where to fucking find them guys at.
They're under the radar. You're finding a guy that clocked a 40-hour week this week or more. You're saying that he's the problem. He's not the problem. Like the person that's employing him might be a problem because you're not giving an American worker the right wages to allow them to live and survive. So you're buying 3 workers for the price of 1. You're the problem.
Right.
But not Jose, who's like mowing your yard. Like, and yes, I guess if you're looking at it, like if you're paying somebody to mow your yard and you know it's a bunch of illegal immigrants, you're kind of supporting the problem. So unless you're willing to give up all that stuff, stop honing in on them. Like start actually looking at it as maybe there's a broader problem and we can fix it, but it's not just get rid of Jose. Don't kick him out. Like, let's work on the problem.
Well, it gets me to Villain Mike, and Villain Mike's like, listen, fuck it. I don't care.
But as long as they keep us, like, and that's the thing is it's the red and blue, it's the Republican, Democrat, once you look at the Republicans and be like, they're evil, they're racist, they're fascist, they're blah, blah, blah. And the other way around, they're crazy. They want to, turn everybody gay. They want to do like, once you go into those groups and you accept a label of that, you're accepting that you're not actually concerned about what's going on for day-to-day people. You want good things to happen for the left. You want good things to happen for the right. You don't give a shit what it does to the other people that are going to be affected by that. Like, stop thinking about it as you're on a team and worry about, the working class in general.
Nothing is economic anymore. Everything's moral.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be able to say, like, you hear us say it all the time. I'll be like, I think, Republican ideas, they have moronic ideas. I say, the way the fucking left fucking presents themselves and goes about their business is so fucking just erroneously stupid. You can't imagine what goes on in their brain. But I fucking love you. Like, I love you as a human being, and I don't want to see you killed. I don't want to see you maimed. I don't want to see nothing happen to you. I want everybody to get along. And another thing too is that all of these problems that you deem problems, that, we got to get illegals out of here, we got to do this, we got to fight for this, would not be a fucking problem if you were not struggling in your life paycheck to paycheck. People who are not angry, they are not resentful, they are not, they don't care about, a lot of things that go on. They're not going to give a fuck about what's going on in somebody's household inside of their house unless they are so angered in their life and have no one to aim it at. That's what happens is think of like when Stone Cold Steve Austin just fucking, blew up. Everybody was pissed. Everybody hated their jobs, hated their supervisors and shit like that. And there was this guy who was whooping his ass, and they all vicariously lived through that guy. And he became this fucking superhuman figure because he was beating his boss's ass. They were like, oh man, I can live vicariously through this guy. If that happens, you could say, hey, but I think there's something wrong here. Like, I think there's something wrong. This guy's getting millions of fans because he's whooping his boss's ass. So now we take this there, okay? Everybody still hates their fucking job. You're making less against the cost of living than you ever have. Against inflation, you're making less than you ever have. You might be making more, hourly wise, like the number is higher, but your paycheck, your money is valued less than it ever was. You're angry, like you are poor, and then the first person, they'll say, hey, it's because of these illegal immigrants. That's why you don't have any money. It's not these billionaires withholding all the fucking funds, just taking all their profits and fucking investing in other avenues and not paying their employees what it's worth. It's because the gays over there, it's because of the white people over here. It's about microaggressions, and it's both sides so fucking angry at the other side. And the whole root of the problem is that you're fucking starving. You are starving, and you want somebody to fucking be like, that's why I'm starving. There's never been a character that popped up, a wrestling character that was like, I hate the gays. In fucking any kind of media, I hate the gays. You know what I'm saying? I'm here just stone cold stunnering fucking illegal immigrants. But the guy who fucking went against his boss, went against the rich guy, he was a fucking superhero, folklore hero. People fucking cheered his fucking name. Most merchandise sold from a fucking fictional character ever.
Yeah.
But people, if it's going against somebody else, they can't put that two and two together.
Well, the thing is that they do is they rewrite the narrative, because like if you look at what's going on right now, like Ronald Reagan on the right is like, he is just this savior that he just did everything right. And that's why, anytime they try to compare anybody, it's to Ronald Reagan. But the part they don't understand though is that is the beginning of the fall. Like that is what caused our economy to just go into the tank, was completely changing the tax code so that the wealthy just got to basically not pay taxes anymore on most of their earnings. Like they could just take that money out as if they were an hourly employee, and there's nothing. Like there's no reason to reinvest in your employees, your infrastructure, any of the stuff. Like you only do it if you have to, if you absolutely have to. But like really, Reagan was the start of the fall. But the way that history is written is that like, oh no, it just, you allow the rich people to have more money and you let them just do whatever they want with it, and everybody will benefit from this.
They'll say Reaganomics was not the problem. It was, NAFTA when Bill Clinton got in and all this stuff. And it's so, like I said, people fight for their side so religiously. It's so funny to see like a Donald Trump clip where he's agreed with Israel on the fucking, they have this, what is it called? A ceasefire. Yeah. And then Israel goes against the ceasefire and starts, bombing Palestinians during a ceasefire. And then it's people in the comment section that's like, I miss like Barack Obama. Bro dropped more bombs than fucking, I want to say any president ever, more drone strikes and bombs than any president ever. But you're so like, this guy was my side, so he was like a really good person. He's not a really good person. No. I don't think we've had a real president, honestly, since JFK got killed. I think that sent the message to every other president that's like, hey, we have this way that we go, and if we go against that way.
Well, that's the thing is like when you say NAFTA or any of those things, all that is going in the same direction. All of it, like from Reagan on, has been going to pro-business. Corporations are people. Corporations can do whatever they want. They can't be sent to jail. Like they pay minimal fines if they do anything. Like corporations are fine. And the people that run them are our saviors for our economy. And we like in our what we produce is great. But the thing is the people that actually spend money and make the economy move are getting paid less. And so the economy is slowing down year after year. And the politicians, they're all on the same, like when we say like wings of the same bird, no,
Right.
they're the same fucking wing. They're a different feather.
'Cause
Like they're so close to each other.
An example of who does trickle down economics benefit?
Corporations and the wealthy.
What does NAFTA benefit?
Corporations and the wealthy.
Well, so now we have an example of a
What does the
Republican,
Affordable Care Act benefit?
the wealthy.
And corporations, like
It does not matter if it's a Republican president or a Democrat
going
president.
to war, like
These bills are tailor made with the false thought that this is benefiting you and what you believe in as a Republican or as a Democrat, and it all goes into fucking wealthy people's pockets. And then you have enough examples of every fucking law that has been passed says, hey, it does not matter red or blue, whoever's in office, the billionaires are taking the fucking. So then you can say, oh man, wait a minute. Maybe, this side says they have our interests in mind. This side says they have our interests in mind. Maybe both sides just have wealthy people's interests in mind.
Yeah, because they're the ones keeping them in office. They're the ones paying for all their campaigns.
Super PACs
they're
to fucking run for president
the ones
or for Congress.
They actually write the bills. Like they write the bills and then present them to the people that are going to like actually put them into law. But like they write the bills. Like it's not even a situation of them like impacting it. It's them giving them a hand delivered like this is what we want. And they're like, okay, well this probably won't fly, so we'll take that out. We'll do this. Okay, but the rest of it looks good. Here you go. And then it just gets shoved down our throats.
And every monumental thing that's ever fucked over people and, was good for billionaires. Well, that thing's like all these Republicans, they didn't want to fucking vote on this affordable care, but they did it. They fucking relented and they did it. It happens every single time. If there's a bill that gets just absolutely shot down, canned by the other side, that was magical hoopla that they were like, well, you see, the other side won't let us have it. But anytime there's something where it's like, this impacts the working man, zero, absolutely nothing. It's just like, well, the other side, they were able to agree and come to a fucking, what is it? A middle ground. They were able to find a middle ground and vote on this. And it's literally every single bill in existence. And people are just like, yeah, these sides have their different values, their different set of beliefs, and they are all fighting for us. They are not.
No. Well, and the crazy thing is, though, is that it's not even just internally, because now it is a global economy. And so these corporations are everywhere. And it's also different, world leaders and stuff that have more pull than they should. And all of that kind of, we're not going to say it.
We're looking at you, Netanyahu.
But you look back at like what has been done and the different, like, why the fuck are we sending, like, I get when people get mad about aid, but like, why the fuck are we sending aid to a country that doesn't need it in any way, shape, or form? But we kowtow to like all these different places that we want to keep in our good favor. But like, why?
Well, you drive through America, it looks like a third world country.
Yes.
And it's like, maybe we should be giving some aid to maybe y'all should be giving some aid to us. In like Russia and China and places like that, they have Feed America campaigns.
Yeah, I bet.
Showing just the homeless and shit like that. Like, imagine we do that for third world countries. And then there's some places in our fucking country that's third world countries. Third world countries.
Well, and to be such a wealthy nation, like, I mean, we do probably have, I don't know this for a fact, but like we probably have like the highest population of billionaires that are at least from here, sell here, do like have some sort of interaction here. And yet we have just astronomical, like homeless, hungry, without healthcare, like downtrodden people, and then
veterans.
And this is the crazy thing, though, is those people then fight against other people that are in the same boat as them, and they're like, you disagree.
Well, I could look down on this homeless man because he's nasty and probably does drugs.
Or you believe that a woman should have a right to abortion or not, or whichever. But like they pick on these moral issues, and then they're like, you're the enemy. No, like we disagree on that, but you're not the enemy. You're literally me.
You live the exact same life, except for you think differently.
I wish that there was a point in time that people could, because I've had so many political discussions, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. This is all of it, blah, 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 blah. And I know that the person supports the right or supports the left. And I can sit there and like lay out this scenario of like, hey, this is probably a good way to solve this, right? Well, it's actually the person that you disagree with that believes this. Well, yeah, no, I still like, Obama. Oh, no, I still like Trump. And it's like, no, maybe think for yourself for a second and just and it's just wild.
I think the best thing they did though is, especially with like conspiracies, and then in the early 2000s, you didn't have these just big faces that would make these conspiracies or make conspiracy claims. The government didn't recognize conspiracies, and then they had Epstein happen and all this stuff. It's like, well, now it's conspiracies, where back in the day it used to be like a wacko thing. Now it's like, oh yeah, these conspiracies happen, but it's conspiracies that fucking don't really, this is a conspiracy and we need to focus all of our attention on this so you're not getting fucked, instead of we're doing this so you don't have your eyes on this conspiracy. So they fucking completely just wrapped it around. It's so disillusioned now that we just don't care. Like, people don't care when anything happens. Like the Epstein files, yeah, it's good to harp on because you think that they're the presidential candidate or the president is in that fucking thing, where if there was an absolute guarantee that he was not, he wouldn't give a fuck about it.
There wouldn't be as many people. Like, I think that's the crazy thing, is there's plenty of people out there that like, I don't give a fuck who's in it. String them up, every single one of them. And then you have the people like, well, like he probably just went there to like
a friend. Yeah,
he just went to tour. They probably hid all the kids away at that point. And
imagine if you got a community, community of like 1,000 people. And then there's this guy, he runs a pet shop, all right? And you find out that guy from the pet shop just been molesting the fuck out of kids, okay? Well, this other guy was his friend. Like, think of a community aspect of this. This guy was his friend. He went to the pet shop a lot, okay? And he hung out with this guy. And you'd be like, we know you knew about. There's no way you didn't know about Terry. Like, even if Trump never fucked a kid, had sex with a child, okay? If he never did that, if you know about it, and you allow it to continue, that makes you a fucked up individual.
Or if you spend that much time and you've been in that many interactions and you don't know about it, what's like?
Probably shouldn't be president. It's like the God. It's the God thing. It's like, if God, if he cares, but he can't fix anything, he's not omnipotent. If he can fix everything and he chooses not to, then he's malevolent. If he can't see the evils that go on in the world and he can't fix it, why is he God? It's like that. It's like, okay, either Donald Trump is so fucking stupid that you couldn't be like, man, this guy, I hang around this guy, and a lot of people that have been on that island, I know a lot of people, and I've never heard tell of this at all.
Not once.
You are a fucking moron, and you probably should not be in the highest position in the fucking world, controlling the, world's most powerful military. But I'm not going to say that you're that fucking dumb, because you've grown up around a lot of smart people. You went to a fucking, where did you go to for the, it was the military school, right? Yeah. So I assume there's been a lot of smart people around you to tell you fucking things and educate you on things. So I don't think that you are just a fucking moron. I think you knew about it. Maybe even partook in it. I don't have any proof that you partook in it. And there's no proof so far that says that, yes, you went to that island for malicious reasons. But I cannot believe, I 100% know without a shadow of a doubt, you knew what that man did.
Well, and the things that you say that come out of your mouth that point to maybe you're not straight and narrow on the age of consent and shit like that. Like the whole fucking teen beauty pageant thing where he's like, yeah, it was beautiful women and they're getting undressed and I own it, so I can just walk through and they're getting dressed. And like, I mean, that's a fucked thing to say about kids. Like, whether or not, like, what each individual scenario is, the fact that you would say that out loud,
out of your mouth,
says something about your character. Like, I mean, you should be more protective. Like, if you accidentally walked through and they were getting changed, like, that's not something to brag about. That's not something like, yeah, beautiful girls just getting changed and I walked through. Like, come on, man. Like, and those are the things that I don't give a shit about his political views.
Well, brother, that was taken out of context. Okay, so what had happened was, the liberal media would like to have you heard about Sora? Like, Sora does, and it's like this shit we heard, but you heard this shit fucking 10 years ago, about him going into the locker rooms, grabbing women by the foot. That's just locker room talk. That's just locker room talk. When someone dyes their hair blue, you're like, I think they're like a sex fiend. That's what a Christian say. I think they're like a sex fiend who needs God. But a guy saying, you just grab them right by the foot. And it's just, and here's the whole thing too is they just use it to pawn the other fucking side, because we do know absolutely of people that have been on Epstein's island, okay?
Where are they?
Who the
Why
fuck
are
is
they-
going after them?
Yes.
Who the fuck?
Exactly.
No, it's just like release the file so we can see that you have some people and you have shown that you're not going after those people. And the only reason you want to release it is because of one individual.
Yes.
And so your concern is not of children. It is not. It's not a concern that America is the number one consumer of child pornography, of human trafficking. It's not that. It's that you want to fucking pawn the right. You want to pawn the fucking Republicans by proving that their guy is a sex offender.
Yeah.
That you don't give a fuck about kids. You don't give a fuck about human trafficking, child pornography. You don't give a fuck about real issues. Nobody cares about real issues.
Yeah.
Children being hurt, none of this stuff. They give a fuck about one-upping the other side.
Well, and they do care on the surface, but then when it comes to the details of like, hey, let's just fucking handle it, period, there's all these excuses being given and reasons for why, like, oh, that's made up. That's not real. Like, no, if you believe that, you shouldn't let anybody get a pass. Nobody should get a pass at all, period. And you should be fully in that. But that's where, like, you know, on the left, if, you know, Anthony Weiner or whatever, real fucking inconvenient name to be a sexual
fucking pedophile,
predator.
yeah.
But, you know, like, and that's the thing is you will still find people that defend people in those scenarios. And it's like, I don't give a fuck his political take. Like, I could not give a shit less what he thinks of abortion or gay rights or anything like that. Did he harm somebody? Yes. Fucking deal with it and deal with it. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do. Like there's nobody above the law or like, oh, well, you know, he was in a scenario. No, deal with it.
Well, if there's a pedophile on the left, they're a pedophile. If there's a pedophile on the right, it's because the liberal media painted him like a pedophile.
Yeah.
Everybody just always brings it back to, well, they're lying to... They're the only ones lying.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You
like,
guys aren't lying at all for the, you know, to fucking pawn the other side. No side is truthful. You're in the age of misinformation. What the fuck can you believe except for what you were told? That's what everybody does. They see something, they believe it. Like, go to any, and this is how I knew America was fucked, okay? If you go on TikTok, any kind of like short form platform, and there is an obvious skit that is obvious, but it's painted as a real life scenario, people are just like, wow.
believe it.
Wow. And then some people will be like, I know this is a skit, but that lady is a bitch. And I'm like, you just said, you know, it's fake, but you're just accepting it as real. And now you have all this AI shit coming out. Oh my God. It's just only going to get so much worse.
What did I see? I saw one with Eminem and somebody else, and I was like, what in the fuck is this? Like, these two people wouldn't be talking in a room together. Why the fuck are you AIing them having a conversation? Like, this is real. Like, no.
Now imagine what happens though when, you know, a fucking country bumpkin, listen, I'm sorry, that fucking grew up in a small town, you know, dropped out at fucking...
Well, I think that's...
dropped out at 8th grade to fucking help his family. Now imagine him watching a short of Barack Obama saying we need to start executing Christians and you know, getting Muslim beliefs and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to tell that person that what he saw was not real.
But yeah, that happens, like, you know, somebody in the inner city that didn't graduate school because they needed to go to work. Like, I mean, all that stuff exists. And that's the craziest thing
Both sides
is that,
also
like,
too, they want dumb people.
Yes.
Like, don't ever think that someone is like for like the real education of somebody. They don't want you. They do want you smart enough to do what the fuck they need you to do effectively, but not smart enough to get paid the fucking wage that you were supposed to be paid.
I think there's a few genuine people, and you couldn't name them because...
Well, unfortunately,
like,
because of the left, you can't be like, you can't say, hey, a country bumpkin, and then someone from an inner city, because once you say that, it's like, well, you know.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist.
Yeah.
But you have the same fucking example in small towns where it's like fucking, you know, poverty stricken and shit like that. Not a lot of.
Well, they want you to be mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They want you to be mad. You cannot compare a poor white kid to a poor black kid. They'll be like, no, it's two totally different things. No, it's just fucking poor people.
Yes.
And if you handle the poor people problem, then
Yes.
there's a lot of, you know what? Yeah, this shit did happen back in the day, but everybody's kind of happy and eating. As long as everybody's happy and eating, there's nothing to be mad about. That's why everything is morality. Nothing is economics. Nothing is, if everything was economics, we'd have the smartest fucking people in office right now. People where if I said, I can literally, this is the problem. I could literally do a couple days research. Okay. And then I could go to anybody in the fucking House of Representatives and the Senate, and I could have a fucking debate with those people. I should not be able to do that. If there's real economists, you know, fucking people that actually know what the fuck is going on, geologists, people, if Congress, if the idea of a republic and a democracy was actually enacted, there is no way I could go up to somebody and be like, well, I think we should do it this way because it'll make it better. They'll look at me and be like, get out of here, you fat fuck. What the fuck do you know? You sound stupid.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's like people who are, this is how we do business, okay? And if you don't, it's not about how smart you are. It's not about how intelligent you are. You could go to Harvard, wherever, University of Alabama. It doesn't fucking matter. You could have went anywhere. Do you agree with what we were trying to accomplish? Yes. Then you fucking, we're gonna fucking pay for your campaign.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the wild thing though, is that it's a scenario where you say it's not economics, but that's exactly what they do. Is they create a morality thing. So it's duality. You can basically split the country up the middle. So then their economics go through no matter what, because both sides are completely beholden to the economic plan that they want. And they'll throw you little bones here and there, like when Trump gave tax cuts and everything. Those ones have a fucking sunset time, but the ones for the people that are making bunches of money,
that doesn't
no sunset.
Stop. Yep.
It's forever. And they're like, oh yeah, look at what we did for you. And then, but they're like completely doing magic tricks of like, well, yours is going to run out, but we won't talk about that. And that's the wildest thing, is because somebody be like, yeah, I get paid more because Trump's in office. Okay, well, but that's going to go away. But the one that they gave to all the billionaires and all the corporations and all the money that literally could go to funding schools and fucking roads and bridges and infrastructure and everything that makes the economy better for the average person, that still gets taken out of the pot forever. But your little piddly part over here, we need that money back. We're gonna need that back in 5 years.
My favorite clip that I've seen in a while too is this guy was talking about the tariffs, and he was like, yeah, they're gonna bring in so much money. And then a guy he's dealt in trade his whole life. He was like, do you know, like, so when goods are coming in, do you know who pays the tariff for that? The company who is accepting the goods from America, who then are like, okay, well, since this costs me more, I am now going to charge the consumers more. So literally, when you get tariffed, that means you are now paying more money for the product that you used to pay. So many businesses have closed down because, and it's so like there's some posts that you will see where, people will have it's like the split post of someone talking about how good the tariffs are. And then it's like, we're closing down the business due to the tariffs. And it's just like, yeah, because if you were to say, hey, I'm not going to think about what side I'm on. I'm going to think about how something works. Let me think about how this works. And you'd be like, oh, this is bad for people. Then you could hold the rich people accountable. You could say, hey, we don't fucking like this. Literally, people, they're vying for your vote. You can say, hey, I don't fucking like this. But as long as you keep all the morality shit good, it doesn't matter how bad they do something, how bad it fucks over people. It's like, that's my guy because he agrees with the same moral shit that I agree with.
Well, that's the crazy thing, though, is like, I mean, nothing is so black and white. Like, tariffs have a point and a purpose, and there's times that they need to be used.
Right.
But just blanket across the board, like, tariff for you, tariff for you, tariff for you, America first. Like, as soon as you do that, all your bargaining chips are gone, for one thing, because you're like, oh, I'm going to do this thing and it's going to benefit everybody. No, it's never black and white like that. You don't know all like the rippling effects of what's going to happen. So it's definitely a strategy that can be used, but as just like we're going to bring all the jobs back. No, that's not how that fucking exists. Some things just can't be brought here. Like, there's certain minerals and resources and things that we get from other countries that we need to do industry here. And even though the things are made here, we still have to get raw materials from somewhere else. Like, and so if you throw a tariff on that, all of a sudden that American company can no longer afford their materials that they need. And so, yes, it was being made here, but it needed something else. And like, there's all those little tiny intricacies. You can't just be like, tariffs. But that's how easy they break it down to.
I think the funniest thing is like the American-owned companies overseas that then get to charge a higher price for their goods. Like, they get to tack on that nice little fee to the fucking whoever they send it to over here. And it's just like, once again, like, it hurts everybody except for the wealthiest people in the fucking world.
Yep.
But look, if you guys don't want political podcasts, just send in suggestions. Like, be like, hey, we want some advice. Yeah. We'll stay off the fucking political train. But I mean, at this point, I don't give a fuck. Like, I enjoy calling everybody stupid.
I enjoy the conversation. And honestly, if we got something fucking stupidly wrong, tell us, because we do read the comments, as you see at the beginning of this.
Hey, yeah, that does But as soon as you're like, hey, Mike, I'm just going, shut the fuck up. We got aggressions we got to get through before we deal with some microaggressions.
You're MAGA. You're also a leftist. You're also, well, yeah, that's the thing is we think for ourselves. So we have different takes than what the right believes, what the left believes. You can call us whatever you want.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but also to the guy who was like, well, Mike, you shit on MAGA more than you do. Democrats don't have any fucking power, so not a lot that they are really doing wrong right now because they can't do fucking shit. Because I like that one thing where it was like, if Democrats are so smart, why do they lose so much? They got the wrong kind of education. They got the education that says, hey, you will be a good worker and you will nail this fucking interview. You will take less so you can get this fucking job, okay? You will take less than what you think you are worth. Here's the industry medium that we just fucking came up with. You ask for less than that, fucking get your job, you smart person, then you got that. You pay on that fucking $150,000 degree. That's the education they want you to have. They don't want you to have the education where you're like sitting down and you're thinking about like, like who are they really taking with, this deportation thing? Well, they're not taking criminals. They don't know where the fuck they are. You don't know. ICE doesn't know. They're not out here fucking getting cartel members because here's another thing too. They won't let you. So they will meet you with violence. How many times have you seen these guys be met with violence? Zero, because they're taking dads, they're taking moms, they're taking kids away. They're not taking the fucking... Also, another thing you don't think about too is how intertwined they are with like the Mexican government. You don't think they're like that with like the small Texas governments? And fucking, what are some of the Texas cities that surround the fucking... If I'm not on podcast, I could fucking just shit these out of my ass, all these fucking names. You don't think they're in their governments too? You don't think they're fucking, that there are border officials that are absolutely like, yeah, like I've accepted the money. Everybody accepts the money because everybody's broke. Yeah. So you get offered money, you start changing the fucking way that you're thinking. But once again, they're not going after those guys. They're getting just like regular, everyday fucking people. So...
Well, and they're going to pick up criminals in that process. Like there are going to be bad people and then they can point to them and be like, see, we're getting criminals. Yeah. Like, I mean, just pick up 100 white people or 100 black people or 100 Asian people or 100 Indian people or 100 Pakistani people, 100 of anybody. And you're gonna be like, yeah, see that person was a criminal.
Pakistans are fucking wholesome as fuck though.
They might be, but like the thing is you're going to find a bad apple and so like you can point, they're loading up thousands of people. So yes, you're going to be like, well, that guy was a child predator. Cool. Take him out. That's cool. But like, what about the guy that literally the only thing you have on him is that he's here illegally? No, leave him. Let him be. Like, it doesn't make sense to bunch them all together.
The left's media. So this is the left's media. They're like, look at this great guy that they deported, family man, and then he actually turns out to be a gang member. And then you're like, hey, you're sitting here fighting. You're fucking doing this wrong. Yes. Because if you were to say, hey, someone's here illegally, he's like, oh, they're working for a living. No, they're a gang member. He sent them back over there.
Okay, that's fine.
And then you start fighting for that guy. No. You look like a dumbass. Like you look like you are so hell bent on your fucking morals to not say he has the tattoos on his fingers. Like he has the tattoos on his hand. You can look at the tattoos on his hand and you'd be like, all right, listen, we don't know if you are reformed or not. You know what I'm saying? So, probably not an instance where you fight so hard, but because you fought so hard for that and you tried so hard for that, now every single time that you do it, you don't have the other side is not
no credibility
because you went so goddamn hard on that. You have no credibility when, a father is taken, a mother is taken, a child is taken. Like you don't have any fucking credibility anymore. So it's just, man, it's.
Well, see, that's like
because China was like, look, we ain't gonna start it. You know what I'm saying? But if America starts it, we're gonna show you our military power. It said, because China, look. I don't know what goes on in China. There's a lot of propaganda. I've not been to China. I really think you cannot understand what a place is like unless you go there, okay? Because I hear a lot of people from America complaining about China, and then all these other countries is like, China's got a shit together. Like, they're prospering. They go over there, and they're doing like, Americans are doing the videos of, this place looks fucking great. There's a billion people in the city. Everybody's homed nicely. There's not fucking homeless people and shit like that. So I don't care if they go by communism, socialism, or whatever. Something's fucking working over there to where...
Well, and it's got its own problems. Like that's the thing is like nobody is absolved from having problems. So like it could be the best place in the world to live. However, there's still shit and that's one of the things that irritates me about the right is they're like, if you don't like it, get the fuck out. No, like I love the country,
and I bleed red, white, and blue,
Yes.
bitch. I'm not going to get out of here. I want to make this place better.
And that's the thing is like, I guarantee there's plenty of shit wrong with China. However, yeah, if they're not having a bunch of homeless people, a bunch of drug addicts, a bunch of like all these problems that we have here in the United States,
are not struggling to fucking put food on the table.
How do we do that? Like, and how, but that's the thing is, as soon as we can talk about whether abortion should be illegal or legal, and then, you know, talk about gay rights, trans rights, all these things that are morality issues that have nothing to do with everybody's day-to-day life. It has nothing to do with it. If you don't want an abortion, don't get one. I'm not saying that I'm not pro-abortion. I think there should be certain things in there. However, that's not what I'm concerned about right now. My concern is, yeah, can I put a roof over my kid's head? Can I feed my family? Can we live a decent life? Do I have to work 90 hours a week to put food on the table? Those things matter the most, and all of us deal with them. But that's not what we're talking about. We're worried about who's using what bathroom, whether you can get an abortion or not. I'm not going to get one personally, but you know, like those are the things that they continue to push a wedge between people, and then you never, ever, ever focus on the man behind the curtain.
Right, because I mean, we can't, like, people hate all these people, and either side, if they don't like us, they'll say, you know, Russia's doing worse than us. This place is doing worse than us. This place is doing worse than us. And it's really fucking hard because it looks like all these places are doing better than us. Every single one of these places are doing better than us. You know why? Because they'll say, hey, yeah, we don't agree on this morally. We don't agree on this morally, but we do agree on you're going to fucking pay us. Like, that's a big thing with Russia, too, is like their fucking, like their unions that they have down there, them some crazy motherfuckers. And to come to find out, if you threaten people with violence, like Putin's like actually came down and threatened companies with violence for treating workers like violence, because once you treat workers with once you treat Russians like their union so bad, eventually they're going to become violent, and they're going to get violent with anybody who steps in their way, whether it's a president, a fucking, you know, whatever it is, they're going to get violent. So he came down there and was like, look, you're going to fucking do this, or I guess, I don't know, the punishment in Russia might be death. I don't fucking know. But it shows too that people, the places where people are like, hey, we deem ourselves to have power, it's a lot better over in those places. I mean, what was the last one that we watched? Was it Greenland or Iceland? I don't know which one is the one where people actually live on. I think it's Iceland. It's Iceland.
Iceland's the Greenland is really covered in ice.
And but one of those, they were like, look, shit's ran fucking wrong, and that was a small example. But there's so many countries now that's doing it, that are saying, hey, we're tired of being treated like shit.
But America's so good at the propaganda. Like, America's
and they're
fucking
so good at the division too, and saying that, hey, it's not the government, it's this side of people that have no power that is your enemy. So we can't really ever unite and fucking make any kind of change.
Well, they've strategically done it over the past 50 to 100 years of figuring out how to divide the same people along a line so that they lose their power and now are voting on two different issues, which end up benefiting the same people. But you're never going to agree with your neighbor who is on the other political side, rather than being like, and this is my biggest thing, and I wish the left and right would say this, is like, we're Americans first. Whether we agree or not, we're fucking Americans, and we're in this together. But that has been like,
Right, imagine you did the tiered, like you tiered your fucking problems. You're like, all right, this is the problems that we have as black people, white people, whatever. But this tier is like the problems we have as Americans.
Yes.
And then you were able to fucking handle that. It makes these problems a lot fucking easier.
Yeah.
It does. It makes these problems a lot easier.
And we'll get to them when they make sense to get to. But right now, as a fucking whole class of people, Americans in general, we're not doing
because
good.
Fuck the left. I mean, they are the biggest example of, you can get people out to protest for the wrong shit week after week for a different fucking thing. Like one week they'll be like, all right, it's women's rights. Next week it's black people. Next week, stop Asian hate. Like they literally had them every single month fighting for a different cause. The other cause, we got to put that on the back burner because there's all these other causes that we got to fucking conquer.
Well, and like if you fall into one of those categories, that's your main concern. And yes, I get that it's a concern. Like if you do, you know, like the Hispanic people or, you know, Asian hate or transgender, gay rights, all that stuff. Like, but like if you fall in one of those categories, you're like, this is the main issue. No, it's in general.
No,
like
really, it's white people. It's white people being like, I want to be holier than thou. Who's got the main cause on the table right now? It's Asian people. It's this. So really, honestly, white people did take like the cries of minorities and what do they call it? A group that's more susceptible to like hate and stuff like that. I forgot what it's called because I'm on a podcast. But like it's these pleas. I'm now going to fight for these pleas, and that's why it switched every week. Because the new one was the new mainstream one, and we're fighting hard for this, and we're not going to stop until there's change. There's no change because now women's rights. Now it's Asian hate. Now we got to fucking get out there and look at what I'm doing, guys. Look what I'm doing. And then the next one, literally after Roe v. Wade was overturned, an Asian creator said, for the whole summer, we don't want white people to post on our side on the biggest platform where you get shit out.
Give room for the voice and
give room for voices after. And it doesn't matter if you're a black woman, a white woman, a Hispanic woman, you just lost rights. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, hey, let's shut up and let's let people of color's voices be heard. How about everybody's voices be heard? How about that's what fucking unity is. It's saying, hey, we have all these problems and we can fucking sit around a table and we can talk about them. That's how you get problems out of the way. Okay. It's not telling somebody to shut up and fucking during a time where, one of the biggest fucking issues for women's health is just being fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
But look, also these sides too, and especially on the left, if you can subdivide those people and they can't fucking get along and they can't fucking, they're eating their own, there's nothing you can conquer. So honestly, at this point, it does feel like the government has won. Saudi Arabia, I am waiting for your check for me I'll come do some goddamn comedy. Netanyahu, I'm going to get your name tattooed on my neck because look, fucking y'all don't want to get it together.
Kids got to eat still.
Yeah, come buy me out because my kids got to fucking eat. So look, in the next one, I'm going to be in, what do they call them? A jihad? Hijab. Yeah, I'm going to be in hijab fucking.
I think that's for women, though.
If you ain't Israel, you ain't American, baby. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to do fucking that. And I'm going to walk right out. Be like, yeah, I'll fucking go swim in my piles of cash. Them motherfuckers over there in Saudi Arabia, trillionaires. Listen, trillionaires. You know what, Bill Burr? I agree with you. Look, they may have laughed at us when 9/11 happened, but fuck. Our people are too stupid to goddamn do any fucking thing about it anyways. Let me go take some blood money.
Well, see, I don't see how you can, like, I don't know all the details behind all that stuff, but, like, how are you going to tell somebody not to do something for them? Like, you're going to criticize all these comedians.
Well, Bill Burr especially. So let me just explain why, too, is like, to say the American government had things to do with 9/11, that's a big conspiracy. Saudi Arabia definitely had hands in 9/11, whether they were with the American people or not.
Israel did too.
Well, you can't talk about dancing, or what do they call it, dancing Jews? Because honestly, there's a lot of propaganda. If you show someone a video of Jews dancing, you can be like, this was to 9/11.
Yeah, but they also have like documentation of Israeli art students like going around to like all these big federal buildings leading right up to 9/11 happening. And like there's all these other like tiny little things that when you put them all together of what was kind of occurring at the same time, like to say that nobody's really innocent in this because there's so many weird intricacies.
They all knew about it. Like they all absolutely knew about it. There's no reason why, NORAD's running a fucking simulation a week prior of 9/11 happening. And then their response time is the lowest response time that they've had for a fucking while.
Well, no, they were doing a training exercise that morning.
That morning on 9/11 happening.
Far away.
Yeah, and that's why they couldn't get to 9/11 in time because they were practicing to stop 9/11. And then once a CEO, I forget what he's the CEO for, but this is a fucking known story.
The bank or something.
Right, yeah, for one of the banks inside of the World Trade Centers. He missed the first day he's ever missed since the World Trade Centers were built because his wife was sick that morning. And people be like, that's God. Nah, dog, that's a fucking conspiracy. That's someone knowing
He's important enough to be in the know.
Saying, hey, you got to take the day off here. Like, he might not have known what was happening, but someone was just like, yeah. It's just like, look, if a kid came to school and was like, don't come to school tomorrow, I would tell the principal, dog. Like, I'm like, oh, God, he's doing something bad.
Yeah.
So I can't not believe that you didn't know anything heinous was about to go on. But I digress from all the conspiracy stuff. You 100% know, like, Saudi Arabia's in it. Saudi Arabia has, they control the entire fucking infrastructure right now of Chicago.
Yeah, but we flew them out of the United States. We flew Saudi Arabian families out of the United States. The only people that flew out, like, so, like, the thing is like, yes, you can criticize a comedian for going over there, da 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 da, whatever. How do you know that those people are the ones that helped with it? And also, those are the same people that we flew out of the country when no flights were happening at all. We were flying those sumbitches out of our country to protect them from any sort of hate or anything that was going to happen to them.
Right.
So, like, these people, you got to make your bag too. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying like you sell your soul for it.
But think about Bill Burr, who is a very political comedian now. And just to be like, hey, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like,
but he's a very open-minded political. Like, and I know.
Because here's the thing too: is like he's very left-leaning. He does.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you say. He's very left-leaning. And then Saudi Arabia has bought out a lot of the right. Like a lot of the podcasts you see for the right, that's Saudi Arabia, buddy. UFC, WWE, that's Saudi Arabia now. Like it's all being bought out. Like I said, they control many cities, like infrastructures and shit like that. Like Chicago, when they sold out the fucking rights to their parking meters and shit like that for what was it, $8 million to Saudi Arabia, and it generates hundreds of billions of dollars. It's stuff like that they control a lot of, and they control a lot of the way like the American, like, what is going on, a lot of the politics. They have a lot of hands, and they have as much hands in that as Israel does. Like as these fucking, Saudi Arabia and Israel own America.
Well, the Chinese, and like, I mean, we're sold to everybody. Like there's
primarily to Saudi Arabia and Israel. They control a lot of the politics. So then to say like, these guys definitely don't have the best interest for us. And then all these, high class comedians are going out there to do this big fucking festival for them while they show how much fucking money that they have and we don't have. So that's a big like smack in the face when you're taking, us, because comedians, they all started off as us. Not many started off as a wealthy guy.
Yeah.
They all started off as like this, fucking trying to make ends meet, trying to fucking, get by in life. Well, now you fucking made it. Come down to this goddamn.
Well, see, but
and it's just like Dave Chappelle too. Like Dave Chappelle saying "fuck you" to the Comedy Central guys. Like you guys are fucking. I'm turning down $50 million, and then he accepts the Saudi Arabian. Well, I don't know how much it was. It was around like $2 million or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he says "fuck you." I won't do what you tell me. To then go to do a show for the people that says "fuck you," you're going to do what I tell you. That's why they have that mentality.
But to say that like that's apples to apples, it's not. Like, I mean, they're working class people, like coming from working class. Like, it's not the Saudi Arabians that are fucking us right now. It is our government that's fucking us. And like,
yeah, but they're heavily influenced by lobbyists. Lobbyists are not just in America. It's not just like American billionaires.
Yeah,
it's
I understand.
the main owners of like the oil industry that comes from Saudi Arabia. The guys who are fucking bringing in their goods here and getting all the money, like they heavily influence our government. Saudi Arabia being the biggest one through trades and stuff like that and through lobbying. Israel, I don't know what they're doing, why they have so much goddamn control, but they just got it out of the sake. I guess Jesus was there at one point, you know what I'm saying? So that's how they got that. But Saudi Arabia absolutely, through just a lot of, especially in the oil industry, affects a lot of our fucking politics.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, I guess with the Dave Chappelle thing, like he fought against a company that was basically trying to fuck him on his contract. Right. And so like, it's not apples to apples in that. Like he said, yeah, fuck you to Comedy Central, but like they literally had a contract written up and were trying to not pay him for the work that he did. And so like to say then that should affect whether he goes over to Saudi Arabia, 25 years later, like they're not the same scenario. Like, so yeah, he gave up whatever millions from Comedy Central, but that's like in a, like if you tell me I'm going to make 5% off of this podcast and then you try to only give me 2.5%, yeah, I'm probably going to fucking walk because I'm the face that needs to be there for the or for anybody to make any money. So like, it's a different principle argument in that.
Right.
Like, and I don't know. Like, I mean, who technically are the Saudi Arabians? Is it the people that are controlling everything? What
if our politicians threw a big comedy fest for themselves? They wanted a big comedy fest and then got all these. Would you feel the same way? I'm not judging each comedian based upon like everybody wants to get mad about. I mean, I see it. And maybe there is more going on too. Like, because I mean, I know Saudi Arabia had, their fucking hands deep in 9/11 and shit like that. They have their hands deep in our fucking government and in our media too. I mean, they have Dana White is Mr. Saudi Arabia, and he is one of, I would say, like when you think of the entertainment spectrum, like entertainers that speak a lot of politics, have a lot of political ideas. Dana White's like the notch down from like your Joe Rogans, your fucking probably more than, I wouldn't say more than Theo Von, but he's there, and like he is thick within that sauce. But then, you know, they're the ones also that are buying out the podcast, that are fucking, you know, Joe Rogan's having this guest and this guest and this guest and this guest going on and stuff like that. They are the ones that are like kind of, they did supply a lot of the money for the big movement that happened, the big push that happened right before the election and shit too. So
yeah, and I mean, there's so much like backroom, and like that's the thing, is the people that are actually fucking pulling strings are never in contact with anybody. They have people that are heads of industries and things like that.
Yeah, but when you have the rich Saudis who actively knew about 9/11, joked about 9/11 and shit like that, had fucking parties and shit like that. If 2,000 Americans died, and some of the blame is on your fucking shoulders. I'm not then going to turn around and go make you laugh. Like, I'm not going to sit on the stage and be like, nah, look at me. Nah, you guys laughing.
Like, where's all these videos and everything? Because I have not seen like,
which ones
of these specific people laughing and joking about 9/11.
There's a lot you can. Once again, it is a lot of Republican people propaganda of the dancing Jews and like the shit you can like assert from that and just like.
But aren't you
from that
in this same sentence though? You're saying that like they're the big push for right wingers to become right wingers, like to try and get people over to that side. But they're also the ones that all the right wingers are now fighting against. Like,
who are fighting against?
So all the right wingers are the ones that are shitting on Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle and anybody that went over there.
That's mostly left that's doing that. Not the right shitting on them.
The right isn't the one that, like, because
no, buddy. The Saudi Arabians, they're all pals with Dana White and all these, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Dana White's fucking posted videos and.
So you're saying that it's not the right side, the right wing that's
the right's
upset
definitely not got the biggest problem. Right now, the left has the biggest problem
with the comedians
with the
going over
comedy
there?
show. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a.
Yeah, I don't know.
The right's more like a get your bag. Why would we give a fuck?
Oh, I thought they were like America. No. They were the terrorists, so fuck them.
No, they're the good guys now. They're the good guys. Israel's the good guys. All these people that don't have your interest in mind, they're the good guys because of Jesus, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't get it. I don't get why we back Israel, who has just been a fucking bully. It's goddamn
a
existence.
Monster over there.
Yeah, just like since Palestinians were like, oh, you look at these Jews and how they're hurting and shit. Come to fucking our land. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then they're like, fuck, we like it here so much, we're taking this bitch because God said right here in the Bible, and this is the area that it said, so we're just going to fucking take this. Y'all get the fuck out of here.
Well, they gave it to the Rothschilds. The British gave Israel to the Rothschilds because it used to be a British territory.
And they got a lot of money too.
And the queen, like the royal family, basically gave it to the Rothschilds, and then they turned it into the, you know, Jewish wonderland that it is now. But
the amazing little place. It's like, oh, can I become you? And fuck no. Fuck. You've studied a lot. You've still not. Fuck you. You don't get to be one of us. We get to pick who's us. It's like, fuck. Yeah, I'm thinking about converting to Jews. And the Jews are just like, we don't want you, bitch.
Yeah, no. If you're not in, you're not in.
Yeah, once like once you got a salvation and then people judge you on, it's like, well, you know, once people can deem you if you're worthy or not of salvation instead of a God doing it, I think we've given people too much power now. So, but yeah, fucking, they love Israel, I guess, because, you know, like that's God, that's Jesus' land. Jesus wanted it. The fucking, you know, the people that are in that land think because you like Jesus that you are not going to a very nice afterlife. You're going to be stuck in purgatory, buddy. They think your Jesus was a false prophet or didn't exist at all. So they fight real hard for that too, man. For a country of people who believe that the literal central, like the thing that separates you from Catholicism, okay?
Yeah.
The thing that separates you from Catholicism, they think because you believe in that guy, you don't get no afterlife. but come fight for us, because you know the figure that you believe in that is literally crucial to your salvation. If you do not believe in salvation through Jesus Christ alone, you do not get into heaven. Yeah. That's what Christians believe. That is why Christianity is Christianity. It is through Christ.
Yeah,
only through His name. And they believe because you believe that, you don't get any salvation through their religion.
You're talking about Christians don't believe that you get any salvation?
No, like, Jews. Because you believe in salvation through Christ.
They still believe he's a prophet. They just don't believe that he is the second
Ben Shapiro
coming.
said he's not. They think he was a guy who, you know, preached the word of God, and then the fucking Romans. There's literally Ben Shapiro saying Jews do not believe in Jesus at all. He was not a prophet. He was just a guy that they think was just like rallying up. He said he didn't say that he didn't think Jesus believes, but he 100% says Jews do not believe that Jesus is a prophet. He is not a lot believe that he is not a person, that he is a mythical figure.
To just rile up the masses.
Not to rile up the masses. He was just saying what he it's on Joe Rogan's podcast that he said that.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that Muslims believe that he was a prophet. They just don't believe he was the last
prophet. They think Muhammad was the prophet,
but we should murder everybody just because they don't think that
I don't think they all. I think that's just I don't know. I haven't read the Quran.
Well, that's what it's turned into. Is like you don't believe my prophet's the right prophet.
Well, I mean, Christianity's going the same way, the same exact way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like across the board, like you have 3 religions that are the
or the top religions that believe in the same top guy. That guy, yes.
What are 4? So
you got Judaism, Catholicism, Christianity, and
I always put Catholicism and Christianity together.
So you got those 4, the top 4, the head guy. Oh, yes, across the board, that's our guy. It's like, what else has went on? Like Catholicism, that's the one I know like least about.
Yeah.
Because there's Mother Mary was like, she's a very central figure to there. I don't know if Jesus Christ was her son or not. I don't know if I'm not, you know.
Very out our ass right now.
Yeah, I'm not very well read on Catholicism. I can say though too is, and here's a funny little tidbit to point out to the people on immigration. You know, you don't get, you know, the all these other different immigrants from different countries. You know, India, Pakistan, all these other places deported. The one that's deporting right now is the majority of those guys are Catholic, which I do believe. They do believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I think like the difference between, I think Catholicism is like a more kind of like strict, and I don't really fucking know. Like you really go through like what the Bible says. I don't fucking know once again. So
well, I think that's where you have to do, you know, you have to.
But the ones that they're deporting are the ones who are most Christ-like, like you are. And the other ones that they're not deporting are fucking, they believe that the shit you believe in will have you either go to purgatory, because a lot of people don't even believe, a lot of the different religions don't believe in hell, like the hell being a real fucking place. You're either going to purgatory or you're just not, you just don't go, you don't ascend to whatever higher plane because what you think is wrong. I'm starting to think maybe all you guys are wrong, and just be a good fucking person, and maybe not rely on the word of a man, the word of men, because that's what you are getting this from. This is not, none of these are the word of Christ. Because if we're talking about a God, an omnipotent God, you know what they don't do? Fucking make mistakes. They don't mistranslate stuff. So once you have God's words telling you that, fuck, slavery's okay, you can take some of these people for slaves. Well, you know, that's a different time now. No, he would have known. Omnipotence means you know everything that's going to happen, did happen, will happen.
Well, and that's even if the words were taken out of context or anything like that, the whole thing is that if you can use that as your
platform
reasoning, and then yes, there's something wrong with the situation. If you can, but like that's the big thing is like the word. Preachers and pastors are not like some magical being. It used to be that you could only read it in, you know, a language that most people didn't read. But at this point, like you have all these people that are deciphering it for you and then telling you based upon their viewpoint, based upon their view of the world, what you need to believe. And that's a very jaded thing to do. Is like, if you want to read the Bible, read the Bible. If you want to read the Torah, read the Torah.
What was that cloth they found that Jesus had died on? Or something like that, and has like his image in it. And then if you ask a Christian, like, well, how do you know that was, because you can carve and date it. I was like, well, what about What about when they carbon date the dinosaurs? They're like, carbonation's not real. Like, you can't really fucking use that. And I was like, we're just making up at this point what the fuck we want to fucking make up.
Exactly.
Listen, if there is a presence of a God, through the duality of life, there's going to be a presence of a just as powerful fucking evil. And if there is a book written about me and I'm the top evil motherfucker, I want people out here having sex and all the fun stuff in the world. I want them doing drugs and all that stuff. The first thing I'm doing is going after the fucking book that slanders me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is, though, is like, I mean, who's to say that living your life that way is, like, in excess, it's sinful. Yeah, but, like, that's just a normal thing. Like, yeah, if you're a drunk, you're a fucking drunk. But if
I'm a God, I'm going to make these people, they're not going to be perfect. And I'm really going to get mad when they're not fucking perfect. Yeah. God, like, no, dog. You're a father. You have kids. You see your kids. You understand. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get through life. All you want them to do is be fucking kind. Be kind to your neighbor. That's it. Fucking be a community. Love one another. Yes. Fucking think of what it's like to fucking walk in somebody's, shoes. That makes you a good person.
Yeah, stop judging everybody because they're not doing exactly what you think.
Because I swear to God, I'll go to a red light. If we want to be real religious, I'm going to a Red Lobster and smacking people. Everybody, all the old people eating shrimp, and they're calling you abominations. I want to start fucking posting out in front of fucking, God hates you shellfish eating fuckers. Like,
yeah, where are they?
I'm gonna make a slur for y'all motherfuckers.
Well, see, I was walking to drop off some labor on my hats, and when I was walking down there, they had posted up on both corners of the fucking, so there was no way that I could cross the street, and I had my fucking daughter with me, and I was like, I don't want to fucking talk to you guys. Like, I don't give a shit if you guys want to go out there and protest, whatever. Don't fucking talk to me. Like, I'm not walking across the street to talk to you about Jesus. And like, I have no problem with Jesus. I have a problem with some of Jesus' followers that feel like they need to berate every single fucking person walking down the fucking road. Like, no, not all these people need to be saved. For 90% of them probably go
they
to
do
church.
It in the exact way Christ wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's the funny part.
Yeah, no, you're not going to the homeless shelter and fucking feeding people.
No.
You're standing on a corner getting honks. Like, and you could switch it out for a MAGA fucking thing, or you could switch it out
Friday at noon,
for
I'll get a
Obama
job
thing. Like, you're wanting people to be like, yeah, go you. No, fuck you. Fuck
right.
You. Like, why are you out on the street harassing people walking down the road? Go to the places where they need people.
Because now he's more out, like he feels morally superior, and that's all it is. It's about feeling morally superior. It's the same reason you walk into a church. If a poor man, a homeless man, walk into a church, a mega church, whatever, people are going to be like, ooh, I hope that guy doesn't sit next to me. Because you are the antithesis.
I think
the antithesis of the idea of Jesus Christ. You are 0% Christ-like. People
I think
there's this.
Like, I just want to give people credit. There's plenty of people in there that actually live that. Like, there's plenty of people that actually will be like, hey, do you need something? I'll help you. It's not the pastor. It's not
the majority.
It's not the people out here protesting. It's going to be Joe Schmo that barely puts a roof over his kid's head because he's working his ass off, but he will get the shirt off his back. But like, so like, that's my thing is I don't like to generalize anybody ever. Because I don't think Christians are any worse than Muslims or Jews or anything on this front. There's plenty of good people, and they're good people in spite of what they see in their religion, not because of their religion. And maybe it does help them, Well,
without religion, we just all be out here killing each other.
Yeah, no.
No, it's having a moral fucking compass and just understanding right from wrong. When you're a 5-year-old child, when you are like, hey, I should not punch somebody. So if you are basing your book off of the fucking understanding of a 5-year-old kid, that's crazy. And as God, I would be like that, but that's a fucking problem. Maybe I should nuke this shit.
If it gives people comfort, if it gives them some sort of direction, that's fine. It's the people that want to
abuse that.
Yeah, judge people, because like that's my thing is I'm not a religious person. However, like I try not to judge, and that's not to say that I'm perfect. I do judge people. Like I'm sorry, but like the homeless people, but they've given me ample reasons to
we're funny too, man. Like nobody, I try to fucking fight for these homeless, but goddamn, nobody makes me want to talk more shit about the homeless than the homeless do.
So a little side anecdote. We had just gotten our prompt for the 48-hour film festival, and we were writing it up, and like we decided to go like re-up on like energy drinks or something like that. And so we pull out of the studio and we go up the road, and I see somebody like holding like this big board, and I think that they're filming out on Main Street. I was like, oh no, there's like another film crew here in in Lexington that's filming. And so like we were going to stop on the way back, and then we realized it was just some fucking asshole threw one of the Lexington pigs through the
fucking candy factory.
Yeah.
Candy
just being
factory.
that fucking shit.
Yeah, just being a dick. And like they'll just like their pants will be on the ground, they'll just be jacking their dick out in public. I'm like, look, it's fucking hard to fight for you, fuckers, when you're out here jacking your dicks.
Yeah, don't do that.
Stop doing weird. Like, it's okay to be an unhoused person, okay? Little microaggressions. Wow.
Oh yeah, almost.
Shut the fuck up. How about we worry about aggression? But let's not be jacking our dicks, okay? Because then it's really hard for people to be like, hey, that guy doesn't deserve all that hate, and then you're out there just beating your meat in front of kids.
Oh yeah, you saw that one guy when we were up at my mother-in-law's spot, and there was just like that guy that was tweaking out on something, and he was basically doing the fent lean, and like his pants just kept falling to his ankles, and I'm like, why the fuck aren't the police doing something about that?
Or the guy that's just like, I'll fucking kill everybody, like the stringy black haired dude, and he's just like, well, I'll fucking kill everybody. I'm like, all right, or maybe we should just lock this guy away. You know, I'm not fighting for all the homeless people, but not that one. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, that guy's probably somebody who fucking served in the military, was a fucking
get him the mental health.
Right, and then just because there is no mental help in this fucking country, they just deteriorate away, and then
well, they changed all of the psychiatric things to just be a prison problem now. You get sent to jail. You don't get any sort of like psychiatric help. Like there's no places to send somebody that's like off their rocker and let's see if we can get them back on. It's
no, straight to the prison,
straight to the jail.
Yeah, they teach the kids there, you know, who are there for like 2 or 3 years. Well, this is how you really kill people.
Well, and that's
you want to steal real good. This is how you steal stuff. That's what prison is. It's not a reform place. It's where you learn how to become a better criminal. So.
Well, yeah, because when you get out, there's not going to be any opportunities for you to go get a legitimate.
You're a felon.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I don't want you nasty felons working for my job. Ew.
But those guys that stand up there and protest, they always get the one homeless guy that's like, I saw the seven sins and the 7 demons last night and broke off the horns. Like he's always like, and like that. So that's the thing is they are having those conversations with a fucking mentally ill homeless guy.
Yeah, he's literally breaking, like he's going to kill somebody because he's going to be in he's a schizophrenic. And they have that guy that they're like, while they preach.
Talking about
breaking the horns. 2 nights ago, he tore the horns off. He only has to break off 7 more for the return of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just fucking wild.
And what's crazy is, you know, someone who's like real deep in the religious rights sauce, like very, very deep in that, I could say that to him. And he's only got 4 more to break off, and they're like, fuck it, he's got to do it. You know, he might be right, think about it. And I'm just like, no, there's what... Come back to reality, bud. Come back to reality. Let's all just exist in a world where we're all getting fucked over and we can realize that.
Well, and to wish for Armageddon to come. Like, I get that it means that you get to go.
Oh, man, Jesus has been coming. Bro, every couple of years, there's this big day when Jesus is coming. And then they buy into it, too. And they're like, I can feel it. And then it doesn't happen. Because he, in the Bible, says that he gives you free will. Like, free will is the absence of any fucking... He does not fuck with nothing. He is the absence of intervention. There are no, like, and that's the fucking wackiest part too, is in a religion saying, hey, you know, I'll pray I will give you these miracles. Well, then you don't have free will. You have a buyout. Like you have a buyout to doing something wrong. I mean, you know, Americans did the nuclear testing and all that shit, and then cancer starts to rise up. So all these people are getting cancer. Let's pray to God so God will fucking magically whisk away our cancer. And then they die of cancer, and it was like, well, that's in God's plan. No, it's because us as people created nuclear weapons, and radionuclides go out, and they get into fucking people that is not supposed to. This is fucking scientifically made elements that now introduced to our body are killing us. Pray to God, and God will, you know, because it's God's plan that you got cancer. No, you got cancer because we're fucking with things that we should never have fucked with, and now it's killing us as people. And literally, when you get free will, is the absence of intervention. But people think of that as a buyout ticket. God, help me financially. No, get out there and fucking park.
Yeah.
Get out there and fucking make that fucking thing happen. That's what God, you know, God's envisioned you to fucking be able to do, is to go out there and fucking make shit work. Like there, you got all this stuff, and it's come off the backs of people making shit happen. It's not because we didn't pray for technology. We didn't pray for any of this shit to happen. We came out here and we made it work. Well, guess what? Then we started doing other things where we knew we shouldn't be fucking doing. We shouldn't be dealing with like super goddamn weapons to kill people. We shouldn't be doing nuclear testing out in the fucking field.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that we shouldn't have been doing, and we knew that we shouldn't have been doing. And that I really do believe like the technology that came off of evil intentions. Like, look at all that shit, the shit that came off of evil intentions. Like, you look at Monsanto and all the fucking chemicals that they had, it's literally a derivative of Agent Orange, shit that we were going to go spray the fucking forest with to fucking burn people down, to gas people out. All of this shit now that's linked to all these people getting cancers and stuff like that. The nuclear testing out in the fucking, maybe, just maybe, that's like a, hey, you shouldn't be fucking doing this, but we did it anyways. And now, as man, we did this to kill thy neighbor, because that's what it's always been about since we have fucking started recording history, is kill thy neighbor. This shit is fucking killing us, and we are praying to somebody who I guarantee you at this point is not fucking listening, because he sees what we are. There was one movie, I think it might have been Ryan Rent, I don't remember. No, it was fucking the guy who plays My Name Is Earl, Jason Lee.
Yeah.
He played the devil. And he's like, hell was not a fucking place where you fucking burned in a lake of fire. It was like a place of sadness where you fucking reflected on the fucking terrible choices that you made. You guys made it this. And he was like, you guys, and it honestly feels like it is like fucking something through like God's perception or the devil's perception, that God didn't understand that he could make something so evil, not even I can comprehend it, because he's the devil. He's like, not even I can comprehend with the fucking evil things you guys could fucking do. Yeah. And that you guys fetishize this fucking place of torment simply off the backs of, you guys are fucking evil. You guys are fucking monsters. Like that. It's just a lot of shit, man. That if like there is spirituality, we are at the end of times of what our spirituality, our kill thy neighbor, I am holier than thou approach has gotten to. That is our quote unquote apocalypse. Because I do believe, like now it's spread to Canada. Canada's becoming just like us. It's spreading to other places. They're becoming just like we are. Eventually, we're all going to be like this. We're all going to be wanting the holier than thou approach. And that's when, once again, we take our kill thy neighbor and we send it to the next country. And then our kill thy neighbor is the next country. We are the device that is going to end our own existence. That is 100% written in the stars. Man will be the one to end man. Yeah. Unequivocally, through the history of time, man is the most powerful thing that has ever hit this fucking planet. And there is nothing on here that says there has ever been anything more powerful than us. Yeah. That we are just, and the funny thing is too, like you see the pyramids and shit like that, of civilizations that have gone through what we have gone through now. And you're like, wow, how could they build these fucking, because it's man. Man is powerful. Man figures things out. But man cannot exist in the presence of man. It's impossible. Yeah. We can't. Like, it's greed, jealousy, all these emotions that we cannot deal with eventually comes back around. All of this stuff comes back around. Hate and all of it comes around. And we end up wiping out the very thing we built because we are man and we cannot exist. We have created something that even a God himself, casting angels out of heaven, the Horus, whatever, ultimate evil you want to believe in. We have superseded what any religion has thought about torment. We have created that on earth tenfold, to where, honestly, if there is a God, he does not fucking care. He looks at what we did and he's like, I don't even want to fucking touch that.
So to end on a funny note, I was watching Netflix with my family before we came, and we have the broke person's Netflix where there's like ads and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so there was an ad for like some kids like eating disorder, like where they have, I don't know, gastrointestinal issues. And so it showed like a kid, not like a kid's mom, like cutting up like healthy food for him and being like, oh, your kid you can either like treat it or you can like live with it. And so there's the poor kid that has to eat like healthy food, and then there's another kid just like mowing down on some pizza. And the funniest thing was, for one thing, is maybe if we didn't poison our food, maybe kids could just eat whatever they wanted. Like it could be more just, yeah, you don't have gastrointestinal issues because you don't eat fucking food sprayed with a shitload of chemicals. And then the other thing was their pitch to like why your kids should be taking this. It's like the majority of kids that take this medicine have more days without symptoms than without taking the medicine. Well, no fucking shit. Otherwise, the medicine doesn't fucking work.
Right.
Like, you're saying that, like, yes, these kids sometimes don't have symptoms because they're taking this medicine more than kids who don't take this medicine. That's the whole fucking point. Like, why are you trying to sell this as in, like, well, it doesn't work all the time? Because that's basically what they're saying. Is like, well, it kind of works for some
people.
Just
don't. I don't think people can understand, and it goes around to. It goes around to almost everything that we think of. People can't understand. They can't fathom how big the Earth is. Like, we are still using fossil fuels for gasoline. It has not run out. Imagine all the cars, planes, trains, every fucking thing on Earth that takes,
Well, and it's not just that. It's all these things that we make out of it. It's
all of
literally
it.
made into everything.
And we still have so much of it. People cannot understand abundance. So you see all this food every day that gets thrown away from all these fucking grocery stores. The only reason all of this food it's not because there's an abundance of people, it's because they want to make as much money as they can make off of the food. It's not that they don't have enough. There's plenty. There's plenty. There's never been how many times have you there's a shortage of food in America. Oh my God, what? Never. There's food being thrown out. Unless there was a created shortage, a planned shortage or something, there's not been a shortage. There's plenty. The only reason you have all these preservatives, all these pesticides and shit like that, it's not because someone's like fucking evil and shit like that. It's because of greed. And they're trying to stretch that out as far as they fucking can. Well, we don't want to throw this away. We want to sell it. So we need to make it last longer. That's the only reason America is dying. That is why we are dying now in our 50s and our 60s. And you did something if you made it to 70.
Well, and the greed goes back to it used to be there was farms everywhere, and now it all has to happen in a corp because a normal average farmer can't survive, can't sustain.
Because if you're doing good too, they're going to come in there and slap you with all sorts of fucking, you're not doing this by the FDA standards, you're not doing this, we're fining you, and then you go out of business.
Well, yeah, and there's also not markets. You can't sell, 3 cows. You got to sell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cows. And that's
where the auction that they hold, bi-monthly at this one place. You could do that if you're a farmer.
Well, yeah, but the thing is though, is when they go and write those bills, and goes back to our initial statement, is all of it's written in benefit of the gigantic corporation, not Joe the farmer up the road. They can't make a fucking living worth a damn. And then, but with this most recent political shift into Trump the second term, all the farmers were wait a second, so all my loans and all these things, all these subsidies that I was getting are gone.
Yeah. Yep. And you die. And where they're we fight for farmers, they fight for billionaires that have farms.
Yes.
They have farms. They are not a farmer. The man tending that field, they do not give a fuck about.
No.
But people are they can't step away from the political spectrum and rooting for whatever team does whatever to say, hey, we're getting fucked right now. They can't do that. They are so just entrenched. The smartest minds in the world at Cambridge are just so entrenched on what is happening politically that they can't say, hey, obviously both sides have the agenda of the wealthiest 1% on the fucking earth. They have the agenda of wealthy individuals outside of our country. They are not here for our people. So if you can what is supposed to be the smartest minds at Harvard and Cambridge and all these different places, if you can avert that intelligence to somewhere else and say, hey, look this way while we fucking economically fuck the entire world this way, then buddy, me and you have to be fucking on our tippy toes with our hands in front of our face and not get hit in the face with fucking, well, now I'm this side, now I'm this side. It's fucking hard because every day you will watch a video that will, because you can hear the words we're saying right now and you're maybe I should. And then you're going to see a blue-haired person talk about, I've aborted 16 babies this week and I plan to abort 14 more and set a world record. And they're going to be like, that side is so evil. And that's not a person that exists ever. Yeah.
That person is evil if that's a real person.
Right. But you're gonna attribute that. And the same thing for, a person on the fucking left. They're going to see a video of a guy going, well, I hate all gays. I think we should eradicate them in a fucking electrical fire or something like that. And you're like, wow, that whole side is fucking crazy. And then it's just going to drive us apart. And no matter how much, and this is the funny thing too, man, is no matter how much you are reminded that, hey, we should be humanity first. We should be humanity first. You will immediately drop that because your need to be right, your need to be superior to the next person, which has been just the fucking forefront of man's whole existence. They must be stronger, more powerful, better in every single aspect than the next person. And it doesn't matter what tier you go down from the wealthiest 1% to fucking homeless living on the street. You have to have at least one person you are better than. That is your need as mankind. It is your fatal flaw in your very goddamn existence. As long as you have that, you will never fucking be anything. And it has come to a point. Look, I'm pretty sure. I talk to him sometimes. I'm like, hey, dog, shit's fucked down here. And he's like, dog, I know, dude. It is fucked. I didn't mean for this to happen. I just kind of did it. And we found out what free will kind of what it does.
I knew it was going to be sketchy, but damn.
Yeah, I knew it. I was like, this is going to be rough. And then I finally, because here's the one thing. if a father can see their kid go down the most egregious path, they're never going to be like, I'm going to kill my kid. I'm going to kill them. Like, I'm going to murder them. They're not going to do that. God's not going to do that. He created you out of like we have that like godlike sense of.
According to the Old Testament, he did that though. He wiped out the whole fucking planet and
Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah.
No, and Noah's Ark and.
Oh yeah, the Great Flood.
Like he did that.
He did do that. Yeah. Unconditional love, though. He gave us unconditional love that he himself could not use. I don't believe that fucking shit. Don't talk about my fucking, don't talk about him like that to me. Like, he's not going to do that. You're going to be scared. That's how you get people scared, though, to believe in something, to say, hey, if you go against this, the number one thing is, and this is how you know, that there has been some diddling going on in the Bible. Some man outside of the men who are talked to by God, it's had their fucking fingers in that, as it says, obey the laws of the land. That's because any laws made by the land is a godly law, even if it directly goes against the Bible. So once you have that in there, some fucky things have happened in my old book here.
Yeah,
some egregious things have happened, but he knows too that this ends with us ending ourselves. You might say, hey, we've been around this long. And nothing's happened. It is up until this point, we've not, and I'm talking about when you think of history in a nutshell, the past 100 years ain't shit. Even if you believe that civilization, mankind is 2,000 years old, which, even if you believe that, 100 years is not, that's 1,900 years that have went by where we have not had weapons, the actual weapons to say, fuck, we end us now. We do have that. And I do believe we are getting to the point, maybe not in our, 50 years before we have a heart attack, because fuck, everything's filled with goddamn chemicals. Maybe not in our 50 years, but definitely within the next 1,000 years, we will end ourselves.
But see, it doesn't even have to be weapons, because like that's the thing. It's like right now, and whether you believe in global warming or any of the chemicals or any of the ecosystem destruction, like all the things, like we can take ourselves out basically by the way that we've set up our food system. So it is dependent upon, a couple mega farm operations, and that all those little tiny farms are gone. Like people would starve to death if you couldn't get like the cattle from fucking Texas to New York. So now how many people die simply just because there's not farmland near them anymore? It's all fucking suburbs and all this other stuff. So there's a real easy way of us, like a couple, natural disasters, some random sort of virus or bug that takes out whether it's plants or.
But the thing is, though, in our history, though, through the bubonic plague and everything like that, up to COVID-19, with all these novel viruses coming up, novel viruses, a virus that has not been here before. With all these novel viruses, humanity adapts.
Yeah,
humanity has always adapted to anything, but they have not adapted to humanity. Obviously, because everything else we can stop. We can put a damper on killing people, but war we cannot.
Well, we can stop a lot of stuff. We can do things, but like it's not to say that there isn't like anything that could just literally just mess up. Like, I mean, an EMP from the sun could fry our electrical grid, and a mass extinction happens immediately. People are living in places where they shouldn't be living. Fucking too hot, too cold. Like, they're not living in places. They're not adapted to being able to survive in that scenario. So, like, it could be a multitude of things. Like, it could be just us with a button and go, poop.
When was our last solar flare? It was like in 1860.
I mean, they're all the time.
When it shut off. No, I'm talking about the last one that shut off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Electricity for... what was it, 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that. It was for a while. It shut off our electrical grid, and we will get another one of those soon. Like and like you said, our whole trade, our whole fucking are based around comfort. It is based around being as comfortable as possible, making as much money as possible, select places, controlling select things. That when we have that is going to cause literally the absence of electricity. And comfort is literally going to cause a mess.
Well, because most people don't know how to survive. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm not extremely well adapted. I think I could make do for a while, but you know, if we all of a sudden had no access to anything, like you are going to go hunting, you're going to end up killing all the fucking deer and squirrels. And like, I mean, a lot of those things will not be accessible anymore because there's so many people trying to sustain off of a smaller food source. And like, but yeah, somebody out in the desert, like, what do you eat in the desert? What do you drink in the desert? If you all of a sudden
Nevada's fucked. Nevada's done. Like, cause yeah, they are 100% cooked. Yeah. If you're in the desert, like here, and that's something too. Like if you just look a little bit into, you know, you're not gonna last long because it's rough. And you can look into like salt curing food, you know, burying your food to keep cool. You are not going to get away from disease, bacteria. Now you are not going to be able to do that. We're not adapted anymore to that lifestyle too. Like there was a time where you could be in the wilderness and eat a bear and get, you know, trichinosis and shit like that, the fucking diseases that they had, because that's what people did. We went through that. We had the parasites and stuff like that. Our bodies are not adapted to just like, they go to these other countries and they have ringworm and shit. And they're like, we need to cure this ringworm. And they're like, we don't need you to cure because we're gonna fucking get it again. And now shit like that they deal with on an everyday basis, if we get after living in our comfort, we're gonna fucking die. It's gonna be a real big problem for us.
There was a guy at the factory that I worked at, and a deer was hit that morning. And on the way home, he was a guy from Vietnam. What were they, Montagnards, or I think is what they call themselves, tree people.
Yeah.
That's, I think what they were saying. But he went after work. And this wasn't like a winter day or anything. Like this deer had been sitting.
It was warm.
He loaded that fucker in his car and took it home and cooked it up and ate it. But like he was, and not to say that you're like immune to those things, but he was more well adapted to
it. But also too, like, here's the thing. You could have rotten meat and be like, ooh, this is nasty to me. All bacteria dies at a certain heat.
Yeah.
Every living thing dies at a certain heat.
There's toxins that they have don't.
What do you mean the toxins?
Like the toxins that are in, like, say, like botulism takes hold, and then you heat that up. There's still toxins in there that can kill you.
Right, but I'm saying in the time of that, probably during that day, all you have in that fucking deer is like bacteria and stuff like that, that's the thing that like fucks me up, is like when people are getting salmonella and shit from that, and it's just like, the chicken can have salmonella on it, absolutely. As soon as you cook it, it dies.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't undercook chicken, because you want to fucking. So he probably flame roasted that shit if he did not die from it.
Well, no, like, and that's the thing though, is like it's a scenario of, if I would have eaten that deer, I probably would have gotten sick, even if we ate the same cooked version of it. Like, if your body is not used to certain, you know, different pathogens and things like that, you would be more susceptible. Like, that's why people in Mexico can drink the water in Mexico, but like,
well, they're more adapted to that bacteria and stuff.
And so
but there is also a big difference between like a meat is spoiled and then a meat is deadly for you to eat. Yeah. So even though that meat has now sat in the sun, yes, it's gotten bacteria. That's a 100% certainty that it's gotten, you know, bacteria and shit on it. That can be cooked out. But like spoiled meat not tasting as good, or having that nasty flavor, does not mean you die from it. No. But literally, what makes you die from it is the introduction of deadly bacteria and shit. So.
But yeah, like, back to your point of like what takes us out. I believe that, you know, at any point in time, somebody can press that button. But I think we are going to kill ourselves as a civilization, more so based on the fact that we can't get along in this modern world without our modern conveniences. And it will be like, and this is a weird take, like it's been on a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. I don't believe that, and this isn't me against Egyptians, I don't believe that we know what happened with the pyramids in Egypt. Like, it could be a long lost civilization that they made basically to where we're at, is where we're very advanced, and then you erase the whole fucking world and everybody starts over as basically cavemen, hunter-gatherers, survivors, like, because every area has the Great Flood event. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter where you go in the world, whether you believe in Christianity or anything else, there was a Great Flood, right? That it fucking flooded everywhere around the world. in 40 days, 40 nights, but like there are stories of like this happened, and so it wiped out all the civilization, and so we don't have the documentation to say like, oh yeah, this pyramid is 3,000 years old, or it's 20,000 years old, or it's 40,000 years old. We don't have like
The only thing with the Great Flood theory is that like displacing all that water, it would have had to be like displaced, like just momentarily, not like a flood that just lasted
Rain.
Yeah, it was not because of rain, because it would take outside humidity coming in. So more likely it was like a giant asteroid hitting the fucking ocean that would have caused the Great Flood.
Yeah, and most civilizations would be, the most fertile areas are going to be on coastlines or on bodies of water, whether it's rivers and streams. Like people live near water for the most part. People didn't live in the desert. They didn't live, like that's the weird thing about Egypt. At one point was a very fertile.
It was lush, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's desert around it a lot. But like, it's one of those things where if you have a big event that was, tsunamis and crazy changing of weather patterns and all this other stuff, it could create a situation where you wipe out the mass majority of humanity, and then the people that talk about it can't fucking tell what it was. Maybe there were smart people that were like, yeah, a fucking big tsunami came because blah, 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 blah. But those people die. And then you get idiots like us being like, yeah, well, fucking flooded everywhere. There was just water abound. And so you create these big narratives of like what you explain it as, but like you're just a fucking normal hunter-gatherer at that point. Like you barely have language. Like you're trying to raise your kids in a system.
Why do they say they broke the nose off the pyramids?
They just like recarved like multiple times. Like so the body is like substantially fucking bigger, but then the nose.
Why they break the nose off the Sphinx?
Sphinx, yeah. It's been recarved. Like it was definitely like reshaped at a certain point. It wasn't just the nose that came off. Like what they think it was actually like a full lion's head. Yeah. And then shaped down but like the weird thing about that is the water erosion that happened like inside the pit of that. Like the last time that there would have been water like that was like way long before 3,000 years ago, or I guess 5,000 years ago if you're going 3,000 years back from. I
don't know. I believe there's a lot of fucking shit that we haven't been told.
Well, it's just so hard to know. Like, I mean, it's not that we haven't been told. It's like, how do you know if there's nothing that survives except for these big monolithic structures? Like, how can you know? You can't carbon date stone. Like, you can't carbon date when the pyramids were built. So you have to then go off of documentation and stuff. You have to, and then if somebody puts a trinket in there and they put it in there 1,000 years from now, you can't tell when that trinket was put in there. So there's just no. I think we lost a lot when we lost the Library of Alexandria. I think that might be able to shine a light on a lot more of the stuff. But
when did we lose the Library of Alexandria?
It was during the Crusades, I think, is when. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But like basically the Christians were out trying to conquer, and they burned down the biggest resource because that was a collective of any traders and anybody that went through. They would make copies of every book or every.
That's crazy.
And so they had like this vast thing of knowledge, and just
they should have just took pictures of everything.
Yeah, with their cell phones.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen. Like, if you don't want another episode like this,
I think this is 2 hours.
We got fucking. It's dope because we're sitting here talking to each other, and I forget the camera's wrong. I'll probably say a lot of dumb shit, like fucking fuck shit.
That's what we specialize in.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. This is just going to be us being angry at.
Do you think the Saudis will buy our podcast yet?
Hopefully. We'll sell to the Jews too.
Yeah, we're not picky.
We have heard you guys have money. So, yeah, I don't know. Look, bad people do bad things. I think there are good people out there.
A lot of good people. I think most people in general are.
I think our Father has given up hope though. And he's just kind of, when the timer goes off and it all ceases to exist, it's just kind of move away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just build something and it blows up and you're just like, step back slowly and just, but see that? Walk away from it. But yeah, guys, if you don't want another podcast like this, send in some fucking submissions. And then we will not talk about politics. We'll talk about politics less. But look, once again, if you're a Republican, if you are liberal, we love you. We just, God, man, at some point you gotta.
Same team.
You gotta start thinking of yourselves on a humanity level. That you are, the people that you are angry against are also human.
We're humans first. Americans next if you're here in America, and then further on.
Well, we've been divided.
Working class.
We've been divided by imaginary lines that were carved out by rich people. So another tactic used to hate thy neighbor. That's all we want to do is make each other hate thy neighbor. So that's how you control people, though. But yeah, guys, MikeandDylan.com. If you want any advice, if we said anything erroneous or you want us to look stuff up, I do have the iPad in front of me. We can look it up, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Later. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, did that thing die?
Yep.
All right, that's fine. We have the wide.
We do have the wide.
Oh no, that's the mics.
Yeah, that's the mics.
Oh my fucking God, when did it die? Oh.
Might just have to record an ending for it.
That'll be fine.